Last time on Sav Wars, our intrepid heroes escaped the Elorian system, and in so doing they managed to shoot down a Sith starfighter containing a Sith Lord who rolled very, very badly consecutively. Thus, they were able to escape, and thanks to H1's pre-programmed FTL charts, they were able to escape a Sith blockade and basically make it out scot-free. I mean, you lost your engineer in the process, but, you know, you picked up a really hot Sith.
I lost an arm. I got it back.
Yeah, that grew back. It's fine.
I got better.
And so, you spent a couple of weeks, I believe, like 12 days or so, in FTL going to Naboo, which is one of the nearest Republic systems. Once you set down there, you found the planet to be hospitable, if inhabited by rednecks and Gungans.
Well, of course, partner. We're in the fucking edge of the Republican boonies right now.
Mm-hmm, you best believe it.
If I wanted to hear this, I could literally just go outside. Shut up.
Why, yeehaw, look over there, Cletus. It's one of them people with the darker skin. Like, oh god, no,
Jesus.
Texas, why?
You went right for it.
Sure, but at least I have the self-restraint not to actually just freely use the N-word.
That's the bare minimum.
I succeeded at the bare minimum of only being
You
slightly
pulled up
racist.
at the last second.
Yeah, yeah, pull up! We got too deep.
But yeah,
The pull-out method always works. Anyway.
we are.
It gives you a bunch
Yeah,
of
the
checks, you
party landed on Naboo. Cal got a new arm grafted to him. I can't remember if you successfully convinced the doctor not to give him a skin graft. I think you did. But
Yeah.
he's very
Correct.
confused as to why on earth you
informed
would do
him
that.
very pointedly that it's a very traumatic case, and that actually trying to put grafts over it would probably do him more harm than good. We need to take him to a specialist brain doctor.
Right. And then everyone else was pretty much either taking care of repairs or handling bartering. So that's pretty much where we'll pick up.
Very
You
good
are
at
on
bartering.
Naboo.
It's not
You
in
have
programming.
got the starship repairs started, at least. And you have free access to a small market. If there's anything you need to pick up.
I believe we still have product to move, and I asked to do it because I am better at it.
Yes, I don't
you
have
are the
any
barter
ranks
machine.
in. I don't have any ranks in bargain.
So we have we spent all our starship salvage, I believe. Yep, that granted us 718. We've already taken money out to resize armor. That was 500, although that hasn't been done yet because we have to do that in the capital, I believe, or at least in a more tech-heavy city.
The scout armor, you mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, you need to get that taken to a proper armor, which does not exist in this settlement. It might be somewhere on the
Fair
planet,
enough.
but not where you can easily get at them.
Okay, and yeah, then we have 17 points of Sith transport salvage to move around.
Man, I'm just this to fucking let you know how bad I got beat. You said Sith, and I was just like, wait, shit, where?
I'm giving you PTSD.
I had a flash of PTSD there. Not gonna lie.
Them Imperials and their fancy ships, and we fucking ripped all the copper out of the walls. It's fine.
Is that a suicide pill we have in our party loot?
We do have a suicide pill in our party loot.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, who's carrying that around, if anybody?
I feel like me, if only because the robot doesn't need it. Starrick might be so honorable he would actually take it, as would DCL if he ever thought he'd be captured. Like, I won't give in to any of your torture. It's like, dude, you got taken by like station security in the Republic. They probably could give you a slap on the wrist.
You'll never take me on.
You're like, you'll never take me alive. Bite, dead.
Please, all right, give me more credit than that.
You would so do it.
Fucking no, because Cal's already been tortured by his father. He just laugh about how they're pussy shits compared to
No, but
that.
what if they pillow fighted you to the truth? It's like, no, comfort! Yeah!
Okay, I won't lie then. Yeah, that'd be likely.
Help, they're trying to put me in a joy seizure. So yes, 17 transport salvage from the Imperials. Now, is it best done, because I know it also is made up of, like, what was it, random kits of things and some weapons. Would it still be all done at the starport, or is it, you know, quote-unquote, just being scattered across this city here as it's being sold?
Scattered across. Like, we don't need to go into the specifics if you want to just make, like, one barter check.
Yeah, I would appreciate, like, actually just doing the one, I think.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Bring up my sheet.
Save us some time, and yeah, let's say you're going to be rolling against the generic merchant man, so...
I remember the Gungan planet also being full of Jews.
Pardon, sorry?
Remember the Gungans having good merchants.
No, the thing you said the first time. Never mind. Alright, let's see here. Oh yeah, I put a bunch of skill points into actually gaining a couple of technical skills.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I know. I now have 3 dice in droid repair and 3 dice in security.
Oh right, I did bank my lightsaber points. Okay.
Yes, yours are very expensive, but since my technical was 1d plus 1, I was able to spend like 7 points and boost both of those to like reasonable rolling levels. But for now, bargaining time, which I have 5 dice in. Is anyone able to assist me to improve the dice I can throw at this test?
Remember, in Star Wars, you don't improve the dice, you just actually get to have multiple people roll.
Alright, let's all give it a go, I guess. I know that currently our kitty is in some kind of like turbo drugged up state, so he's probably a little bit indisposed.
Yeah, Cal and H1 can't help, so if Stark wants to roll, he can, but otherwise...
Sure. I mean, you're assuming that if I was over, I could help anyways.
I mean, yeah, you'd probably hurt, but, you know.
Let's roll 5, modify 0, T in question. Boop! 17! That's a pretty fucking decent number, I'm told.
Alright, so a 17. How much are you trying to move here, exactly?
Let's say 10 of it, and primarily the weapons, because you best believe these fuckers love guns.
Alright, so this is the Sith transport salvage?
Yes.
Alright. So you're moving 10 of it. You're gonna find...
Yeah, and we'll make sure that it consists of basically all the weapons, and probably some of, like, the, like, survival gear bits, because they're technically frontier right now in this time zone. So yeah, we'll keep like 7 left, and that probably be more like parts than, you know, fucking guns to rule the planet.
You could probably like keep that transport salvage as like actually like repair the dame in an emergency parts if you wanted to.
Okay, I will change its name then to ship salvage afterwards, just so we know it's made up of just ship parts now.
Okay.
And the rest is just 10 of fucking gear.
Just note that it's Sith ship parts.
Sure.
Anyway, would one of you kindly roll me 12d6?
I mean, they're not d8s, so I might be able to do this without fucking up.
Roll 20, I don't trust myself.
Yes!
It's not that bad.
It's 2 above average.
No, it isn't. It's
not?
3 below.
No!
Womp, womp, womp.
Go on, you roll 12d6. Let's see if my horror is compounded by some fat-ass roll.
Well...
I mean, it would count for a skill roll where I wouldn't be like, roll it for the fuck. Yes, I'm fine! I'm better! I'm better than worse!
But, you see, it's been well proven I can only roll d10s.
What were your d8s like? Oh no, Kino was the one who was good at d8s. His d6s were trash.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's a pretty average number, all things considered, so you're not going to get screwed or anything. I think you're going to end up with 390 credits for just generic bullshit salvage.
Dope. Mm-hmm. Not bad.
Did you
All
just
right.
make us another five grand?
No. I made us 390. I'm just doing addition.
Oh, okay.
It's probably worth technically a lot more, but at the same time, economy is bleh. So I don't want to fuck around with looking up what that kind of gear would actually be worth, because I'm sure it would be a kind of nearly game-breaking quantity to be like, a bunch of weapons and armor and like survival gear that you nicked out this transport, because guns themselves are pricey.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure clearly all of these guns have like FFID chips installed that have to be ripped out, and it's just a whole mess. So
Yeah.
We go in the Metal Gear Solid 4 route?
Yeah. We guns of the Sith now.
Can I be Drebin?
No.
Oh.
Only DCL can be Drebin.
Yeah, DCL. If your cat dies, can you play as Space Drebin?
I want to.
Because nothing would make me happier. You take a force point, you keep some points for manipulation, and behold, you are a magic black man, just like everyone in Japan thinks black people are, for some reason, wizards.
Oh my god.
They do.
Not
It's
not
weird.
even wrong. You're not wrong. But yeah. I believe we still have... Was it this planet we need to go to make the trade for the statue and the Force Crystal?
No, that's the next planet, Verizon.
Nope, it's our next.
Yeah, this was just
it's
a
Verizon.
stopover.
Okay.
Yeah, speaking of which, Slash, do you want to actually like make a proper name for that planet? Since
Really? I
you're
kinda like
actually
that.
going there now.
All right. Nice. What type of what was the origin of the Kyber crystal statue? What style was it? Race, that kind of thing.
Fucking, I have no idea what any of that shit you just said means.
What race is the person who is in charge on this planet?
On the planet you're going to, human.
Human. Okay then. One moment.
Yes, it is a verdant garden world.
Let's go with Greek then. Sure, planet Demeter.
All right.
Isn't the Greek god of agriculture?
Well, how fitting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're going to Demeter to deliver this cultural artifact, which is indeed a kyber crystal in an ancient statue. And I believe you were promised like 4,000 or 5,000 credits, or you were already paid 4,000 or 5,000 credits for this job.
I have not been paid for this at all, and I haggled them up to more money because we got chased by Sith. I don't remember the amount though. Maybe I wrote it on my sheet. Nope. It's
Excellent.
not written on my sheet. Should we bullshit 5K?
Sure. That sounds.
That might have been the prepay, and then it got haggled. But fuck it, whatever.
Seems good.
As in all cases with money, fuck it, whatever.
Capitalism. All right. So, as this mercantilism is going down, does anyone else have anything they'd like to do?
Is genociding all the Gungans still an available option?
I mean, yeah, you can just go out and start
Use the
murdering
dark side
Gungans.
points.
No, not actually serious. Other than that, yeah, I think we're all ready to move on and make the drop.
Everyone's had their gear scrubbed, I believe, because I did the checks for that before we landed planet side.
Are you sure you don't want to go kill some Gungans? Because I made tokens just in case.
I want
Is it
to,
just
but
a bunch of screaming Jar Jars? Can I just see the token instead? Just do us this. You can't go hunting, not onto it, but I would like to see some tokens. My god.
Wouldn't I get light sight points for destroying the galaxy's most hated creature?
No, because
No.
you're meant to cull them down into being good people, and that means making them Jedi, which I feel like is a
That doesn't benefit anybody.
yeah, I know. It doesn't
Well, I
benefit
was
anyone.
looking for Gungan pictures to make these tokens.
Did you see that fucking Gungan Jedi art?
Yeah, with the like little tank top thing. Oh god.
Yep.
I'm gonna Google that.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll find it. It's silly and I love it.
But yeah, we'll move on. I'll keep things going forward.
Yeah, no reason to linger here on Naboo.
I found.
It's the first most one, the pencil drawing.
Sometimes I regret. Google.
Oh. Do you want to know how much you actually paid for that statue?
How much?
44,000.
All right, so
I mean, that's what the
it was
statue
6,000
was.
you got. Okay.
Okay. Great.
There you go. Thanks, Kina.
I was about to paste that. You can't up me with it. I was about to do the same.
That's enough Google for today.
Good lord.
Is it safe for work?
Not really. I mean, there's no
Okay.
nips or Wagyu, but they've got the painted on lips, which is actually the most offensive part of that whole picture.
All right, I'm not gonna open this on stream, but I'm gonna open this
The
over in
lightsaber
Chrome.
trident is
It's a
why?
cool idea.
quaint, but seems horribly impractical.
I mean,
Oh my god, right
lightsabers
next to it though, fucking Jedi Wookiee woman.
are the actual fuck.
That's an
That's an interesting
design.
saber right there.
Like,
It looks like
one
a
of those
jizz blade.
Klingon weapons.
Yeah, back.
Okay, I got us distracted again. All right, moving on
Yep,
to
sorry.
next plot. Let's get some. It's been 2 weeks. Let's
It's
get
been
some
4
plot.
weeks, actually.
It's been 4 weeks. Let's get some fucking plot done.
God, there's a plot to this game.
God, this one's called Gungan Kobold.
All right, no, please stop.
That's enough.
All right,
Enough!
so with your ship, it will take you 12 days to reach Demeter, which I will actually add to the map now.
So we stopped being damaged, and yeah, we restored food previously.
Alright, so how are your food stores looking at this point? That is a thing you need to keep
That was
track of.
refilled.
Yeah, we've got like 2.5 months now.
Yep.
Okay, excellent.
And it consists of they're actually nicer grade ones, I believe, because all of that money has already come out. Our protocol droid has fetched us like higher quality food rations, so we have actual things like fish and fish.
Yeah.
Lots of fish, yes. You do have access to a lot of fish.
Should mention that Cal, like during the whole downtime when he's not lightsaber training, is trying to see if he can't help his force training by trying to attune to the crystal or at least get a sense from it. Doesn't succeed, but that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. I will, at points, occasionally remind you, please don't try and attune with my payday.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you don't have sense unlocked yet, do you?
Nope, and it would be
Okay.
so expensive without a trainer that it's not even worth it.
Yep. Alright, so yeah, without sense, you cannot attune to the crystal, no matter how much you try.
You know what? Lalesh is holding a lightsaber. She would like to ask to be shown how to swing it without cutting her own legs off.
Oh, well, of course I can train you to use the lightsaber.
It seems like an interesting way to spend some time on the journey to Demeter.
Okay, making assumptions here, but I assume there's like a first defensive form that would get taught so that you don't end up hurting yourself.
Yes, Form 1.
What does Sith teach Form 1? I figured the Sith mentality would be just fuck around with it, and if you hurt yourself, oh well.
Well, yeah, but they also tend to use training blades that only poison you to treat you as though you lost a limb, and then eventually that runs off and then you still have your limbs. Which again, it's a fucking bit of cool flavor, I would say, is the blades are coated with a venom, so you think that limb got cut off. That's pretty hardcore.
Yeah. Anyways, I will teach you whatever defensive or safer form I have, as I imagine Cal's fighting style is a lot more aggressive and somewhat suicidal.
Yeah. Yeah, I would assume that that's how yours goes.
So I'll teach you the opposite of that.
All right, here's everything I know how to do. Do the opposite. Oh, thanks, teacher. Great job, senpai. I guess if one were to learn force control from someone who has force control, how much does it cost?
I think you advance it like any other skill.
I remember I'm not allowed to take you as an apprentice until I unlock the basic skills, and then I can actually have an apprentice.
Oh, okay. So you are actually incapable of teaching proper
I'm
force
pretty
skills
sure.
at this point.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
Okay, so you need the basics in order for me to pick up
Yeah.
control 1 dice anyway. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, Scout will basically just say, right. I wish I could teach you how I learned control, but my father taught me through very unorthodox methods. He kind of points to half his missing face and goes, I'm not sure I'd ever have the heart to be able to replicate such things on you.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like having all of my face meats intact. And I'm generally pain adverse.
It's best that we just keep, it's best that we wait for later if you have any interest in learning the Force. I do know that you do have the potential for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interested in being able to fucking swing around this glow stick and spook people with it. Not particularly interested in actually cutting people up with it, but, I mean, being able to swing it around would be nice.
At least for the Sith, lightsaber is almost equal to a status symbol as much as it is a weapon. You don't really want to pull it out unless you have intent to use it.
Well, I
Other
mean,
than
I'm
that,
like
just-
that with guns. Unless
I
I'm doing cool
suppose-
tricks. And then I spin it and put it away again.
Either way, it's best that we wait to find somebody else who's willing to teach us. I also have points of the Force that I am lacking in. I wouldn't be much averse to finding a teacher to make me more powerful.
Sure. I mean, I feel like they're going to have objections to you calling it power. You should be like, to round my education.
Why would I do that?
Because I'm pretty sure Jedi aren't about the whole power thing and more about the whole space diplomat, whatever the
Oh.
fuck it's meant to be.
Oh, right. Jedi sensibilities, Cal will say with a roll in his eyes.
Well, I mean, look, wording is part of intent, right? Like, if I'm gonna tell a lie, then I'm gonna tell a lie using the correct words. I'm not just gonna say whatever the fuck I feel like. Like, say, for instance, I got caught stealing. I wouldn't tell a lie that was, I'm not stealing. What I would instead is tell a lie along the lines of, oh no, I actually dropped something, I'm picking it up. And then, hooray, I'm still obviously intending that I picked something up. I'm just trying to tell them that it wasn't stealing. As opposed to like, I didn't do anything. Likewise, you totally want to round out all your powers to gain, like all your skills to gain power. What you're doing is, you're rounding out all your skills to become more complete. Totally still technically a truth. But it's intent.
Personally, I'm just wondering how many times you've managed to get away with that little lie.
Like twice. Admittedly, I just try not to get caught.
The smarter option. Either way,
Probably doesn't work on Jedi. That's why I don't steal from them.
Either way, if
I tried it once, actually. We've been
if you
friends ever
need me,
since.
I'll be in my room again. I
Sure.
still find myself fascinated with the crystal.
Look, no. I'm gonna like try and reach over to pluck it out from your hands. We are approaching my payday, and what you're fascinated by is a whole lot of money. And I would rather it not come to risk by like trying to do weird spacey brain stuff to it.
He'll sulk but hand over the crystal.
Thank you.
And he'll leave it at that and return to his room.
Yep. Otherwise, I think I don't have anything to actually try and cover or do during our journey to Demeter.
Alright. In that case, the journey goes smoothly, and we cut to the dame popping out of hyperspeed. over this lush, verdant green world. Unlike Earth, this is primarily land. It's not, 70% water. So it appears at first as this huge green sphere hanging heavily in the sky. And the Dame cruises down towards it. And as this happens, we see that there are plenty of starships in the sky lanes coming to and from the planet. Unlike Elorian, this seems to be a healthy world that is still part of the Republic. Nothing bad is happening here. You see a few warships, probably parts of the Planetary Guard more so than the proper Republic military. But they do not, in fact, challenge you in any way. It's open commerce here.
Indeed, then, is it actually possible to hail one of them with some kind of code I would have gotten from Dusk Fiend here?
Well, the princess, but yes.
Princess, sorry.
If you want to try and put a communicate, do you want to go to the palace or one of the warships?
Sure. Yeah. I don't know if there's any that I would recognize per se when I took this work in the first place, unless any of them looks like they would have escorted her to wherever our meeting happened. But yeah, I will send a hail and pass a code along, announcing that it would be appreciated if we could make a landing close to the palace.
Okay, yeah. Your specific code is accepted after a moment, and you are given clearance to land directly in the capital city. And so...
Look at that, doubly better. Not only are we not getting blasted out on our approach, but we're actually welcome.
Indeed.
Soak it up. It's not going to happen as often as I would like it to be.
Probably not. But for now, the party... Oh, geez. Just goes
Oh,
halfway
geez.
off the screen. There we go.
Oh, jeez. There we is.
Yeah, there's your ugly
times
mugs.
passed. Let's fill my force points up. Hooray.
There he is.
Need that marker on me anymore. Cool.
So yes, you are able to put down in the middle of the bustling capital, and unlike a more inhabited world like Coruscant, you can still see individual buildings with their like plasteel tile roofs and big towers flying pennants and banners, and people walking up and down these canal streets talking and laughing gaily.
Delightful.
Rather peaceful planet.
Yeah, I mean, it's close enough to the core that anyone offensive trying to approach is probably going to get, leave a big signal as they warp in and then get blasted out by a lot of ships.
What's the technology around here look like?
You remember Naboo from Episode 1? Like, the Clone Wars time? Like, that, pretty much.
Huh. This place is
Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da.
extremely strange.
In what way?
Well, at least in the Empire worlds, any major planet close to our home world would be much more industrialized than this.
I mean, I know that there are a bunch of Republic industrial planets. I guess this one just doesn't have enough stuff that it's worth it. Maybe that's just a distinction the Imperials don't make.
It's wasteful not to use every planet for the cause.
You say that, but it seems to do pretty well as just a center of, commerce and people living instead of it kind of being a shithole.
I suppose so. It's just a different mentality than I expected.
The longer a world is peaceful, the more it leans towards the aesthetics and not functionality.
And then H1 initiates a vaporwave text generator. Aesthetic.
Yeah, so when you came down into the atmosphere, you didn't see any traces of like orbital bombardments or anything left over from the war. This planet probably didn't see much, if any, action. Hence why the people seem so carefree.
Look at this. They aren't war-torn and miserable. They're happy. people here are happy.
Such strange.
My goodness.
Strange indeed. So, your ship has set down at the local spaceport. You are able to disembark. A crew will come out to attend to the ship, get it refueled and whatnot. And you are pretty much free to wander about. No one comes up and asks you for any money for parking or, comes up and boots your ship like the Sith did.
Not even a checking station for customs.
Oh, well, I mean, I had clearance codes to get us up this close. There's probably one for, actual, merchant coverage.
Mm-hmm.
That is correct. We have special permission.
Oh, I suppose that's fair.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I know that I'm acting very nonchalant about this, you guys, but it is actually a delightful surprise to take a job, succeed on it, and get promised extra danger pay, and then also be treated nicely on the way in. I usually get, 1 out of all of those at best.
So when's the other shoe gonna drop?
That's what I'm thinking is going to happen, but you know what? We've been through kind of a fucking shit show. I think the galaxy owes us just a little bit of good karma, considering we blew up a death weapon and shot down a Sith spaceship.
The Republic is unlikely to stab us in the back or change the terms of our agreement.
That's what I'm thinking. Look, I know that it's not always the case, my dude. But, positivity.
Fair enough. Just...
Look, one of my old friends is an SIS chief these days. I know they can be shady bastards.
Simply, I was taught that optimism was suffered by fools, and you should always be prepared for something to go wrong.
I think optimism is something indulged in by people who just need to take a break from paranoia.
Paranoia is your best friend. Why would you ever take a break from it?
I don't know. I don't do too well being that highly strung for too long.
Difference of upbringing, I suppose.
Oh, most definitely, my dear. And I'm not going to be dressed in the scout armor and stuff. Did our ship have any leftover damage? Because they probably are going to be able to do another point of repair here if we ask them to.
Let's see. Nope, you are back to full operating capacity.
Nice. How much would it cost for the dame to get a fresh paint job?
100 credits.
What do you think? Do you think she's earned it?
Of course she has. She served us well.
Just a night, just a tune-up and a coat of paint.
Yeah. Because right now we look like battle-scarred shit.
True enough. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I will fork over 100 creditos. What kind of color scheme you fancy in Starrick? It's your dame after all.
I don't know. Ash was the one who picked this one.
How about then we go with, in her honor, a bit of gunmetal and a bit of blue.
Sounds good to me.
Right. A little station droid will roll out with a touchpad for you to confirm all this on. And then a much larger droid trundles out of a side alcove and starts just spraying the dame down with paint.
Nice.
Alright. And what do?
Well,
ask for directions into the castle, and I'll also ping my comms to the princess. She's probably been notified anyway, but always nice to double check.
Alright. Your directions to the capital to the palace is they point to this massive, brown and red structure towering above the rest of the city. Just go there.
I'm more meant, is it like a lifting taxi pad, or do we get to the base of it and lift up?
The latter.
Okay. Yeah, make for it then.
Alright, and you don't get any response on the princess's comms.
Yeah, fair enough.
Just,
It
in
came
fact,
some
I think you get
grenades.
like an actual busy signal. Like, beep,
Oh, right.
beep, beep.
Fair enough. Some grenades? I guess I don't see why not. Sure.
I don't know, planet like this might... They straight up might not have any, not for, sale to regular people.
Mm,
Yeah.
maybe they'll let us try and purchase from their armory here, if they've got a quartermaster.
So, you definitely cannot buy grenades like in a store here, but... I mean, Lilesh is a sort of underworld figure. Perhaps she could make a roll, like streetwise,
Sure, I'd be
to
happy
see if
to
you know
do
a like arms dealer who operates here in the city.
Yeah, happy to do that.
Since this
sure
is
is
a
4D plus 2 for me.
Since this is a pretty peaceful planet, let's call it DC 15.
Sure.
Speaking of peaceful planet, how many weird
19!
does Cal
Nice. Good roll.
Thank you.
What was that, DCL?
How many weird looks does Cal get?
Are you doing anything to cover up your face, or are you just like strutting around?
Guess I should wear the hood.
Then you get a few looks like, hey look, it's a midget, but otherwise no, not really.
Okay.
Actually no, it's not even hey look, it's a midget, it's aw, you have such a cute little kid, miss. Ah!
Don't you talk to me or my very burnt son like that ever again.
Yeah, like they probably just think you're Lilesh's kid.
All right.
And,
Nice.
yeah, speaking of which, well, you know that there is a Twi'lek who operates at the docks, the canal docks, not the space docks, who has some unique merchandise that he might be willing to part with for a little extra.
Okay, let's see. What's the usual cost on granadas?
Grenades, I think, are 100.
They're 200 a pop. Yeesh.
Expensive.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they do
considering this
5D
is
damage, but...
black market tech, just bump it up to 3.
Perhaps
Another city.
explosive charges and detonators.
Yeah, explosive charges are usually 100 a pop, and
They are
detonators are
100
50.
But they only
200
do
for the package
1d each, but
Yeah.
grenades do 5d.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. An explosive detonator is not, like, doing people's scale damage, right? A grenade hurts individuals. C4 hurts buildings and vehicles.
So if we want to reprise our role as redecorators, explosive charges would be the way to go. Instead
True.
of just a pile of grenades.
Yeah. Did you get some chips for demolitions, by the way?
No.
We might want to hold off then until you have the chips necessary for those anyway. I mean, you've got the one for for grenade, I assume. Do you have dice and grenade?
No.
I'm not sure why I want to buy you grenades or explosive charges when you have neither of the skills to use them. That's terrifying.
I was
want
holding
the-
them I was holding them for other people.
I feel like I handed them off to you and didn't check if you knew how to use them, H1.
They worked out.
It did, but admittedly you dropped them at a not-moving target. Let's hold off. Instead, why don't we save up and buy you some nice how to throw grenades chips?
I think I would prefer a demolition packet.
Sure, I could look into a demo package. It's kind of weird that those strange assassination protocols I jammed into didn't have grenades on it. I guess it's because they aren't stealthy enough.
I am not very stealthy.
Yeah. I shouldn't have skimped on... Well, I say I shouldn't have skimped on. I should have checked just how many chips I was grabbing out of that bucket of random parts in the market stall.
Well, I do have something I do want to start searching for.
Sure, what did it be?
In times like these, there has to be a mercenary of sorts, force users willing to impart their skills for the right pay.
Ah, you're looking for like a freelance trainer.
Someone who can complete my connection to the force.
Tell you what, that might be best spent either at or after the palace, since we're handing over a relic that also happens to be a kyber crystal. They might have someone who is force attuned enough that that's valid.
Fair enough.
That, and I imagine the check to find freelance force teacher is a lot higher than target number 15.
Yeah.
It would not be an easy thing.
No. Yeah, so we'll wait till after Palace, and it might either be that I can get a device that will reduce said target, or find the person that we're after there. Anything else we can think of? Do you want to get a fusion power generator or 3?
Nah. Did we get the armor refitted?
We did not, but we can do that. I believe it's going to be 500, and we can go to an engineer.
That armor might be worth it.
Oh yeah, absolutely, it's worth it. It's fantastic armor. So what you want about Imperial soldiers, but their scouts have the fucking best gear.
Just we have to pick and choose when we wear it.
Basically. I mean, I scrubbed all the decals off of all of it, but I
Yeah,
mean,
but
it is still undeniably the same shape as Imperial stuff. That's why I'm
Yeah.
just wearing my sexy jacket today.
Something that if you wanted to wear in town, you probably have to have like the heaviest overcoat over it.
God, that would be way too warm.
Yeah. Save that for the Arctic planets. But yeah, getting the armor refitted, also a good priority.
Sure. As I say, let's go for the palace. They've probably got an armorer there who would be able to do that stuff. But otherwise, we can check around here. I don't really want to pay markup for this stuff.
Continue on, cat in robes.
Okay. H1 Stark, you following along?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the party makes their way to the palace. Ivy will probably stay with the ship or something.
Yeah. I, give her enough money to get properly blasted and drunk on the ship, since it might not be too good for negotiations having a pure blood joining us as we walk through this place. They probably forget what they look like.
That's also a bit of a thing. So yeah, it's probably best she stays on the ship anyway. And so, the party approaches the base of the palace tower, where you are stopped by some full-on Republic troopers who are stationed here. They'll just check your documentation, but they were told to expect you, so it's no problem. You swiftly pass by the outer gates, then the inner gates, and then you are taken up to a repulsor lift pad that will take you to the actual Capitol building up top.
Hooray!
No problemo.
The problem.
It probably is showing that this alone, that for once, maybe it could literally be that Saban is just throwing us a fucking bone, and the entire time I'm like, so when are we gonna get fucking betrayed?
Haha, the Republicans.
Like, it's
were
too
the bad
stressful
guys
being a
all-
player. I prefer being a DM because I at least know when I'm doing the betraying.
I
Come
mean,
on, would I betray you guys?
Yes, regularly,
Would I do that?
all the
You
time.
wound me. You
Look,
wound
Even
if
when
you
it would be
don't-
totally unnecessary. Yes. all the time.
No. Here's the answer. If you don't do it, your dice will.
And that's true. Like the second someone makes a diplomacy roll on the princess, just ones across the board. All right, put them to death. Like that's how it goes. But
That's how that'll go. Well, let's see first.
indeed,
Now then, I hear Princess Arana has a very powerful lisp, so don't take the piss. I'm kidding. I just part of me wanted to say, but I momentarily panic about doing lisp voice.
yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Oh, adventurers! It's so pleasant to meet you.
No. You are taken up to the highest levels of the palace by the repulsor, then exit on, and from that point on, you are given a escort of a palace clerk just a young, like 20-something guy with a ponytail and a little data slate tucked under an arm who will check to make sure, like, yes, you are Lelesh, blah 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 blah. And once he's got, whatever information he needs satisfactorily tucked away, he will lead you on into the royal chambers. At this point, however, once you get into the heart of the palace, you will come across another checkpoint, and these guys will say, alright, it's time to hand over your weapons and whatnot.
Yeah, sure, not a problem.
I squint.
Come on, we're about to visit royalty. Behave.
Like, this is the equivalent of, like, coming up to the TSA checkpoint. Like, there's just a couple of dudes and a metal detector. You're like, okay, no guns. You guys are fucking strapped.
Well, no guns, but...
I mean, if they see your lightsaber, they're going to want that too. And they'll give you a real fucking weird look.
I assume they're going to pat me down.
No, they don't pat you down, but there's a metal detector right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume they got a sensor. So yeah, I basically am just gonna take my whole bag off my shoulder and then hand that off to them.
Okay.
It's got a blaster in it, and it's also got the lightsaber. I don't want to just visibly hand that over. It's the whole bag of all my weapons and shit.
Okay.
And I will also take a gun out of my
Cal's
pocket.
very much visibly handing over his lightsaber.
Fair enough.
It's kind of obviously of Sith design, so I'm not sure if that raises any eyebrows.
Yeah, I think, like, they pass, like, a little wand over Lil's bag, and then you take out your lightsaber. And both of these lightsabers are Sith in design, so the two Republic guards just gonna eye these lightsabers and look up back at you again, and look down, look up.
It was a bit of a scramble. We had to use what was available to us.
Spoils of war, my dear.
All
And
right,
trust me, it was fantastic. I say fantastic. It was terrifying. But,
Okay, yeah, it's fine.
dope.
There was this amazing battle in an elevator.
It
was truly epic.
I do expect it back, however. Don't scratch the hilt. It's very nice design.
I'll just roll my eyes as though he's being a gooner, even though I know he's being serious. I'm gonna play it off as a joke for the fucking guards.
Yeah, so the guards just take your bag and your excess guns and whatnot, and they will, like, put it in a safe and just slide that back under the desk and wave you on through.
Yeah, sure. Give them a polite nod and a smile.
All right.
Have they got a nice blend of the races here, or is it still all primarily Human Republic?
No, you've seen aliens of various races thus far. Most of the Republic troopers are wearing, like, the full headgear and everything, so it's impossible to tell their race. Other than, like, you don't see any Twi'leks, right? Like, it could be almost anything under the helmets.
Force be damned, I hate not having my lightsaber next to me.
Don't worry about it. It's being kept in a nice, safe little box, and you shouldn't need it. And plus, aren't you supposed to be a deadly weapon even without it?
Of course. The lightsaber is my tool. I've learned to rely on it. Maybe that's just another weakness I need to train out of.
Yeah, maybe.
Either way, I don't think anything will go wrong. I just don't like it.
Now that, I can agree. I don't like giving up all of my stuff either. However, when it comes to visiting royalty, I'm pretty much willing to be pretty cool about the whole ordeal, and probably flirt outrageously.
Lilash, even I know, even I am worldly enough to know that you shouldn't flirt with royalty, especially not in business.
Huh? I mean, I did when I first got the job. I don't think it got anywhere in particular, but maybe she's changed her mind.
I'm gonna give a questioning look over to Steric and H1, kind of like a help me out here.
Lilash, why don't you roll me a perception
Pardon?
check, just for reasons.
Sure, I'd love to do that.
Also,
Do you
H1, the
require
guards,
assistance?
like, look at you, H1, as you're unclipping all those weapons and ammo you're carrying. You look like a normal protocol droid, right?
It's a custom model, but yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna have them do a thing real quick. Let's see. Can they recognize a fucking assassin droid?
She's only got some assassin chips in her.
Let's call it target number 10.
I hope you're not saying that in character.
Nope. Once again, they are just
Seven,
point or
8,
2
9.
away.
Rolled 0.
No, he
What?
put in a plus symbol.
Yeah,
but that was
I
actually a
fucked
7 plus 2, so 9.
Ah.
They didn't make it. And yeah, my perception was a 16.
Okay. Just for reasons, don't worry about it. So, the guards will wave you through. They just assume H1 is carrying Starrick's gear. And you are able to enter the audience chamber. And it's probably about noon, so normally you'd expect, like, the heart of a government building to be kind of busy at this hour, but it's actually deserted. Well, deserted except for up on the throne dais as you enter. There's a sweeping red carpet leading up to it, a set of like 5 steps up to a trio of large, comfy chairs that overlook this open audience hall. And Princess Arana is standing on the dais. She's not sitting at her seat, where is probably where you saw her the first time. And she's currently
probably saw her in a bar or something, considering, when there's the classic the royal is dressed up on the disguise, the down low.
Yeah, like this is probably where you first saw her, but you actually met her like at
Yeah.
some later point, right?
Yeah.
So right now she's messing around on a data pad, it looks like, and she looks up from it and sees you and gives a faint smile and says, "Ah, Lalesh, you're back, and your interesting companions." She'll-
Yes, before you would have... maybe you saw Cal out the bar and I came along with H1, but this here is Starrick. Impressive slab of a man that he is. I give him a pat on the back.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Your Highness.
She will give you a little nod of her head, and then, turning her attention back to Lalesh, will say, "So, I understand you had some issues with the statue."
Not with the statue, but with other interested parties. However, if you check in with your guards, they'll probably be carrying with them the evidence that we handled them surprisingly adeptly. Admittedly, at some personal loss. A member of ours did not complete the journey.
"Oh, I'm so sorry. I hadn't thought this item would be worth killing for. It's just a crystal."
It's a force crystal. Cal will speak up.
"Well,
Although
yes,
even-
but still, the galaxy's full of them now."
Yes,
Indeed.
but there's something special about this one. I think you know that as well.
I know that it's very old and very powerful, but anything beyond that, I assure you, I don't know. Would you mind giving it to me, please? And she'll extend a
Of course,
hand.
not a problem. And yeah, I will lift the edge of my jacket and unzip that little, the security inside zippy pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Unzip all of that. And yeah, I will walk up and present.
All right. She will take the statue from you, and with a deft little flick of her wrist, she will just pop the gem out and like take the statue's little hands off with it, and they crumble away.
I see. Fair enough.
Not surprising. The statue is just a set piece.
Indeed.
Kind of a shame. It was rather pretty.
Unfortunately, it wouldn't have given this up without a fight. And she will set the little gargoyle statue down and roll the gem in her hands and smile to herself. This is a long time in coming. Thank you, all of you, for bringing this to me. I owe you a great deal. In fact, a great deal I can quantify. And she will bring up the data pad and motion Lilash forward to make the transaction.
Yep, I will pull out my own and open it to receive transactions.
Okay.
I mean this not as an insult to your scrutiny or your ability, but I'd carefully guard that crystal if I was you. The Sith are rather interested in retrieving it.
So I've been told. Don't worry, it won't be staying here in the capital, at least not for long.
Cal will nod at that.
And yeah, she will transfer over the 6,000 plus an extra 2,000 bonus.
My thanks, my
Pretty
lady.
nice.
That can't be all, can it? Surely
What do
you
you-
have another job for us.
Ah, another job.
Oh, no. As much as I appreciate the work you've done, this is everything I needed, at least for right now. I'm not much of an archaeological expert. The gemstone's what I was after.
No,
Understandable. I'll
Oh,
look
but-
to Cal like. Stop it.
I'm used to being rather front-loaded in work. I see. Well then, I guess suppose we'll be on our
Don't
way.
worry, Cal. Our next employer is going to be an absolute bore. Nowhere near so lovely as the princess. And I'll give her a small toothy grin.
Alright, yeah, she'll return the smile a bit more subdued. And she will turn from you guys as if to dismiss you, and as she does so, you see another figure step out of the shadows. None of you noticed she was here, though clearly she has been this whole time. From behind one of the pillars. It's a woman, maybe 20, 25 years old, with ashen hair, and even at a glance you can tell she's absolutely blind. Her eyes are just a solid milky white, and there are very visible scars around the edges. And yeah, the princess is gonna just walk over to this strange woman, and as you guys are maybe turning to leave or else kind of staring,
Cal's gonna stop walking and kind of look at the woman as he's curious about her.
Yeah, Cal, why don't you roll a perception check? I'll give you an extra 1d on this.
Okay.
I might give it a go. Does she look like an Akani?
No.
Okay.
Not doing because she looks like anything, just because from the things I've noticed, she's very interesting. So, roll 20.
Excellent. Alright, so Cal doesn't notice anything. Lilesh, I think, yeah, you're probably the only one who would notice this. Where someone like a scoundrel or smuggler would normally keep like a little gun tucked through their belt on their back, you see just the faintest hint of a lightsaber poking out.
Sure. Call it just throwing a little bit of will to the wind. I'm not particularly potent with it, but am I able to just sort of try and be like, I know the Force as well, just sort of concentrate in a way?
Yeah.
Just
I think once you put a little mind to it, you definitely sense another, not necessarily powerful, but certainly active Force presence in the room with you and Cal.
Cool. I guess that lead might help Cal realize that's the case as well.
As if I even need that. Like everything about her screams a Force user.
Yeah,
I just-
always good to know regardless. I'll give her a polite smile. I don't remember having the pleasure of seeing you before, miss, when last I was in these halls.
Alright, so as you're saying this, the princess has pressed the gemstone into this woman's hand, the kyber crystal, and she takes it, holds it in both hands, and turns her head towards the lot of you, but she doesn't look at any of you in particular. And she just gets a faint little scowl, actually, like, and says, "Wasn't aware we had guests. Rather, that they would be staying." And the
Not for much
princess-
longer, my dear. I'm sorry for interrupting.
princess looks a bit flustered at that and says, sorry, Lilesh, this is my teacher, Siren.
Ah, your teacher.
Siren, is she famous enough war Jedi that I might know who she is?
Make a knowledge check.
Oh, I'm so good at those. Oh, my 2 dice.
It's better than fuck all.
Yep, nope.
Okay. Fair enough. My apologies for interrupting then. But please, do take care, and should anything else come up, we're happy to take the job. As well, it seems we're going to start earning a reputation for Sith killing, so that's an interesting way to go.
Cal will kind of wince at that. Say that's not.
The blind woman will make a little like twitch of her eyebrow that might be quirking it if it wasn't like covered in scars.
Yeah.
And you hear her softly saying, "Sith killing." She'll take a couple of steps towards you, and now that she's like walking out of the shadows, you can see she's got like a sleeveless tunic on, high boots, a cloak, or rather a cape down a little past her knees. And she's definitely not wearing like Jedi robes or anything, just simple commoner's wear yet. Indeed, now that she's a little closer, Cal, you too can see that there is a lightsaber tucked on her belt.
Cal will take a protective step towards Lilash.
And just do the little gentle hand wave like it.
Easy there. I mean you no harm. If indeed what you say is true. Killed Sith. For this gem.
At least one confirmed ended for the gem. A second is very likely destroyed after the ship was sent hurtling into the ground, exploding.
I would never count a Sith with that power out. Although we would be fortunate if she just had the good graces to die back there.
Yes. We have at least one confirmation to our names. And I don't know if it's pointed in any particular way, but in her direction I'll just like open spread hands, since they've been like tossing that apprentice's saber around between them idly, like relatively
you
often.
left that back at checking.
That is, no, I'm holding up my hands because they've been, tossing the saber around. I don't know. She's just basically guessing, like, maybe they feel sensitive and weird.
Oh.
Yeah, the woman takes another couple steps towards you guys, and she holds a hand out in your general direction and says, I sense the Force on the two of you. Interesting.
Certainly more on him, though, right?
There's a pause. No, just more training. That I can sense.
Cal makes a flat face.
A Padawan, or no, an apprentice?
An assassin.
The princess will, when you say that word, kind of take a step back, like,
It's fine.
Wait, my apologies. Not towards you.
Or even, you're not an active assassin anymore, and I will turn around and point the judging finger. You're just a Cal now. You don't have to worry about that kind of stuff anymore.
Cal will look admonished.
Siren just gives a slight chuckle and says, well, assassin, Padawan, whatever you might be, you have the Force about you, but I sense it is still wild, untamed, incomplete.
Of course, I was not given the luxury of complete training. I was a failed experiment.
I sense great pain from you. Your wounds still trouble you. And she says this like it's some profound thing because she can't see fucking Cal's missing half his face.
the actual death scar all over you. Bacon face head.
No, because here's the thing. Cal will also kind of wince like, oh crap, she knows. And look back at everybody like, oh, my secret's out.
I just like look at you like, we're not retarded. We're just...
Are you... Well, if you're going to probe through me so blatantly, should I just tell you my life story, or will you do that using the Force?
I haven't probed you at all yet. You're an open book. The aura radiating off you, it's screaming. Your companion less so, but her gift is still nascent.
If that's the case, then why didn't you draw your lightsaber the moment you stepped towards me?
Why ever would I?
He kind of blinks at that and it's just like, you can't tell what I am?
What do you mean, what you are?
He's actually looking a little hopeful. You mean there isn't dark side taint on me? You don't sense me as a Sith?
The dark side is not unique to the Sith, nor are Sith inherently dark. That is what I've learned these last few years. I sense a heart that is tainted but not corrupted by the dark. You are not some monster, Cal. Not yet.
Yet.
Yeah, we've all got potential to fuck up and be monsters, Cal.
I'm
When she
sorry,
says yet,
I didn't mean to turn this into a fortune-telling session.
Oh no, it's fun.
Princess, may I have your leave for the afternoon? And Arana will sort of nod her head and motion all of you towards the door like, okay, I'm creeped out now, go away.
Wait.
I'll still give her the finger pistols, like, you know, if you ever want to have some fun.
Wait.
I don't say it out loud, but you know what's intended.
Yeah.
One last question. That crystal.
Alright, who are you addressing, the princess or the Force
Jedi.
user? Okay, yeah.
Force user.
And she'll turn her attention towards you.
Even without my completed training, I could sense something odd about that crystal. Why is it so important? What makes it different from normal Force crystals?
Do you want to know why I asked the princess to recover this for me?
Of course. We risked our lives and also
Old
lost
Scout.
all our friends for it.
Cal, that's still rude, though. You kind of
She
take the
draws
jobs on
her
me and first.
lightsaber in one fluid motion that, like, immediately has Cal like, oh god, kind of tensing. And then you see that it's like half of a lightsaber. It's been cleaved straight in two at some point.
You can do that to a lightsaber?
This probably would have. What is this? It would have been a double-ended one.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, okay. No, that makes more sense then.
Wait.
They're meant to have two crystals.
Wait, oh, I forget. In KOTOR lore at this point, would the double-sided lightsaber has been kind of introduced to the
Oh, they
Jedi?
exist like a lot. In fact, assassins primarily use them, so you're probably more familiar with them than most.
No, but I mean, the double-sided lightsaber was like a Sith thing, and then the
No.
Jedi caught onto it.
Jedi have them.
Bastila Shan, the like iconic Jedi hero, and Satil Shan, her descendant, both use doubles.
Yeah, this might be like, I don't know, lore that was added in the Sith manual thing, but when I read it, the double-sided lightsaber was apparently a Sith creation, and the Jedi Council usually frowns upon its use, like kind of, not overtly, but they're kind of just like, you know, them double-sided lightsaber users.
the newfangled lightsabers.
Because it's a purely offensive lightsaber style, which you can't really use for any other justification other than wartime combat.
Yeah. What? Out of curiosity, what era is that book out of? I can safely agree with Saban in that they are absolutely primarily known in Tor as belonging to battle generals and shadows, which are like the goody two shoes version of we don't want to call them assassins.
Yeah. They're totally within like early KOTOR. Even before that, like this Jedi should have them. It's just a matter of like at what point do they become accepted, because they're kind of frowned upon for a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they're at this point, they're definitely like just a normal thing Jedi use, especially considering there's a war that's been going on for many years.
He even mentions even during the war, double-sided lightsabers during the KOTOR era were kind of still frowned upon. They let them use them, but they were just like, only if you have to. Like
Where
the
was
Jedi
that
were
read?
that
I
hard
feel
up
like that's
about-
something that's been hand-waved away canonically.
Yeah, the Jedi
like
were
so
that
many.
hard up.
Either
about
way,
not
she is definitely a person who uses it, and her lightsaber got fucked up at some point. You're not sure that the crystal that's in the half that she still has is even like properly there anymore. This thing got. It definitely, Cal would immediately be able to see, like, this thing got cleaved in half by a lightsaber.
I mean, if you need a replacement lightsaber, that's understandable. But why this crystal? There's plenty of others in other mines.
You may not know this, but for those of us who don't belong to an order, it's rather hard to get these.
Not belonging to an order. What are you talking about? You're not a Jedi?
Okay, I'll make a perception check. Let's say
Okay.
target number 10.
What's my perception? Okay. Oh, now it wants to roll high.
Alright. Yeah, you see like a little wince on her face when you say that, and then she'll like put the lightsaber back on her belt and tuck the extra crystal into a little satchel on her side and say, "No, I'm not. Not anymore.
You're
Much
like
as
me,
you're
aren't
not an assassin anymore."
You're like me, aren't you? You rebelled against the initial tenets that you were taught.
No, not quite. I found myself betrayed by them.
It's like,
And
man,
here
give
we've
her a
gone
break.
from fortune-telling to philosophy. I fear we are taking up so much of the princess's time. Perhaps we should continue
Yeah.
this discussion elsewhere.
Yes. Yes,
Starting to
indeed.
feel bad.
Alright.
Cal, if I leave you with this lovely lady, could you be trusted to behave while we go shopping? Or maybe drinking? Probably drinking.
She, Siren will sort of cock her head to the side and say, "Going drinking without me?" And we were just starting
would
to have
you
a
like to-
conversation.
Oh, even better.
Alright, so yeah, the princess will probably at this point be happy to get rid of all of you, including Siren. And
Yeah. Damn you, creepy teacher.
please go away, creepy Jedi. I didn't sign up for this shit. And yeah, you guys can leave and continue your conversation as you descend the tower.
Sure. Before we descend completely, do we ever get an opportunity to walk past anyone like an armory that I could possibly pay off to get Cal's stuff fixed up?
I
Is,
don't think the palace will let you just like commandeer its workers to do that. You'll need to find someone in
Okay.
the city.
Fair enough then. I guess I will have to go to a black marketer for the markup, but such is life.
Yeah, Cal's they're walking down will go. You haven't fallen to the dark side. You don't preach the tenets of the lights. To be frank, you're the perfect person who I've been looking for.
Am I now? And what are you looking for, Cal?
He'll kind of look a little frustrated and go, for reasons that are my own, I have very much reason not to give in to the teachings fully that I've been taught as a child. But I also don't believe in the preachiness of the Jedi. I've studied them well and have found their views to be lacking. I'm looking for a middle ground.
So
Something
what
that
you were
will be
looking for is a teacher, then?
Yes. I need somebody who's going to be practical about things. Won't try to sway me to the peaceful and robotic style of the light. Not making me give up my passions of becoming a monster as the dark.
Admiral goals, but I'm afraid I'm not that powerful of a Jedi myself. I was but a Padawan when I left the Order, though I sense my teachings might have been a bit more complete than yours.
I question you when you say you're not that powerful. I recognize those scars you have. Those are battle scars. You don't get those from simple fights.
No, you do not. And as she's saying that, she like narrowly dodges, like bashing her leg into some like table on the side of the hallway.
Oh, I'll offer out the gentlemanly arm if I'm tall enough for her.
Cal will be like, no. If I'm trying to become her princess, this is something I handle.
Look, Cal, you're strong of spirit, but small of body, my dear.
Whichever one
Indeed,
of you
what
would
I
like
should
to.
do is-
I'm not too proud to accept a helping hand. I can make do with the Force, but it is tiring.
Sure. Oh god, now in my head I'm imagining like I have one arm and then Cal will hold her other hand and it's the world's most awkward family.
Oh, it's adorable.
I know better than to underestimate the blind. One of my homeworld's most famous assassins was a blind Sith Lord who was able to tap into the Force to augment his senses.
Perhaps someday I'll be that powerful, but for now I'm happy not breaking my legs on random bits of furniture. Or falling off the repulsor lift.
I still, to this day, do not know why repulsor lifts do not have safety bars.
I think it's some sort of style.
I feel like it's a conspiracy against
some engineering
Yeah.
named George Lucas or something got them popular.
Oh, you mean Jorge Lucar.
So yeah, Siren will just like a little sigh and say, "If I've learned one thing in the last few years, it's that the world is not terribly accommodating to the blind."
Or the armless.
She will like reach out and you feel her fingers brush along your shoulder right down to where it like connects into the metal. "I see your exit from the Sith was not a peaceful one. Unsurprising."
No, it wasn't. I paid a lot to be able to be free from my homeworld. More than just this arm. I'm not looking forward to ever having to pay such a price ever again. So I'm seeking power.
If you seek to avoid loss, then why not set aside the Force? You might find that without such gifts drawing you into destiny, you might be able to live a life of some comfort somewhere, away from all this.
Why would I ever set aside the Force? The Force is the weapon that empowers us.
And why do you need a weapon?
Lightsaber is simply an extension of the Force, just as the body is an extension of the Force.
No, for what purpose do you need a weapon?
To protect.
Protect
To
yourself
fight.
from what?
From the galaxy. Surely this is something that even you should know, as you say you've been betrayed by the Jedi. There's wars about. People would mean harm to anyone and everything.
Yes, but surely you could defend yourself with a blaster. Not the Force. Surely by now you must realize the Force is an anchor. Something that draws you back into this mire again and again.
I don't fully know what you're grasping at.
Neither do I, sometimes. Never mind me. Perhaps I'm just a sad, well, not old, but sad woman. And you, your arm, doesn't trouble you, does it? You can still fight?
No. It's of a combat model.
Good.
Either way. I'm not sure my force training was rather imbalanced, but being on the precipice that I am, can't just simply throw away all my training and forget the Force.
Then I'm sorry, but if you crave a teacher, I can show you what little I know, what I'm showing Orana. And
Even
you
little
as
scraps.
well, and she'll like nod her head towards Lilash.
Hmm?
You too
Whatever.
have the Force, though I do not think you are trained in its use.
Not even a little bit. Sometimes, if I concentrate really hard and hope a whole bunch, then a good thing happens. And sometimes I feel like I'm inclined to call it the Force as opposed to random luck. That's basically where I'm at. Oh, and also apparently Sith just fucking love noticing me.
Would you like to be trained as well, or are you satisfied with your lot in life?
I said as much to Cal before. I'd like to be trained so that I could be confident and, like not a big walking beacon of this person knows the Force. And also, like if I were to pull out a lightsaber, not chop off my own legs. I don't exactly want to kill anyone with one, though. So I feel like that's part of what happens if you train for too long.
Well, I don't know if I can impart confidence to you, but perhaps I could show you how to mask yourself a little better.
I mean, I'd appreciate that. Like, not walking around being a beacon for like, you people to try and scoop up would be really sweet.
And at this point, the repulsor lift has settled down on the main floor, and you are like exiting out of the palace building itself. And Siren will like let go of Lilesh and put a hand on Stark's arm, and sort of follow him for a moment and say towards him, "And you, I sense many battle scars on you. You were a soldier, a Republic soldier?"
Once.
But no longer.
That's right.
She'll nod her head. I'm not inclined to thank the Jedi these days, but more than once my life was saved by a Republic soldier, so thank you for your sacrifice.
Just nod and then realized, oh, yes, blind. Yeah, it's, it means something to hear that,
She'll give your arm a little squeeze and say, I'm glad. You soldiers were the real heroes of that war, not us Jedi. The longer I've been away from the Order, the more I feel like Sith, Jedi, our philosophies are what's causing all this chaos, not empires or republics.
I know the Sith would very much like to blame the Jedi for the cause of all the galaxy's problems.
And I'm sure the Jedi like to blame the Sith just as much. But we should find a tavern or some such. I feel a terrible parchedness coming on. And yeah, you guys can saunter on down to the local watering hole near the palace, a pretty upscale joint by all accounts. Or would you rather find somewhere a bit more rambunctious further away from the palace?
I'll do whichever everybody else is feeling like.
See, I was gonna say that, but now I don't get to. Let's go somewhere a little more relaxed.
Okay. Yeah, you all get your weapons and stuff back. When you guys have gotten your lightsabers back, like, Siren will perk up a little bit and sort of follow them with her sightless eyes as you put them in your packs or on your belt.
I'll let her hold mine if she wants to.
Yeah, she'll take it from you and sort of roll it between her fingers and say, it's smaller than I'm used to, but these Sith models are... they radiate a certain fierceness to them, don't they? Like power.
I always thought this one was kind of angry.
They're synthetic crystals. The Sith make them because they believe that they're more powerful than the natural crystals grown and attuned to by traditional standards. They won't use every edge they can to get every bit of power.
I understand that. The
Also,
war
it's
being
not
what
the
it
size
is.
that counts.
The war being what it is. It's hard to fault anyone for their grasping for some weapon.
Honestly, with everything I know about the Sith's willingness and ambition for power, it's a surprise to me that the Jedi is still left standing at all.
She sort of falls silent for a moment, that, like, considers it, then says, "As am I. Perhaps righteous conviction is worth something after all."
It must be, if they still exist. That's the only reason why I can think of that the Sith haven't been able to wipe the Jedi off for good.
Or perhaps it's thanks to our Republic troops that have saved us from the brink, more so than we have ourselves. Jedi
Even
like
that
to
is-
say we're the guardians of the galaxy, but I'm afraid the galaxy is doing more to protect us than we it these days.
Even that's a question. The Empire has grown, even for non-Force users, the Empire grows its people on the idea for the Empire and by the Empire. Everybody has a strong devotion to the community, will make sacrifices to further expand the reach of the Sith Empire.
You make it sound almost noble.
In a way, it almost is, but at the same time it's selfish and very exploited. My father was a Sith Lord. He had a very peculiar viewpoint on all of it in the end.
Your father was a Sith Lord.
Yes, I is half-breed bastard spawn, which is why my training is so incomplete. Why I reject him, well, one of the many reasons why I reject him is his teachings. Speaking of teachings, what are your plans for the first lesson?
I hope
My
they start
plans for
after
the
a
first
drink.
lesson, yes, are to get very, very drunk and see where the Force takes us.
Cal kind of makes a flat face.
I don't know why, but that sounds like the best idea. No, I know exactly why that sounds like the best idea. It is.
Siren will give a little laugh, and at this point she's kind of glued to Stark's arm, so
Yeah,
she'll
absolutely.
follow him down.
Big, strong soldier arms.
Follow you
Can I
guys
streetwise
down.
to try and find a really good drinking hole?
Yeah, if you want to roll streetwise to find like the best like dive bar, you can definitely do that.
I suppose I will be your designated driver.
18. Yeah. Look at that variance. 6163.
Surely there's some meditation or thought process I can go through. I already have combat training down. I just simply need to deepen my connection to the Force.
Surely everyone knows the losing of one's inhibitions through alcohol is the easiest way to relax. That's totally meditation, right?
Siren
Just
will.
drink enough till your conscious mind turns off, and what's left, that'll melt with the Force, right? That's how that works.
That sounds like how that works.
Siren will actually sigh and say, "Oh, now you're just spoiling things."
I'm positively sure that that's not how inebriation works. Neither
That's
the Force.
absolutely how it works.
Yes.
So my first part of
Fist bump
training
at Stark.
is to get drunk.
I love it.
Yes,
This is
we're going
everything
to
I wanted
get
out of training.
very, very drunk, and then we are going to use the Force to augment our senses, to let our senses wander beyond our bodies.
I'm so excited about this.
Well, there
I
goes
feel
my-
like this may be just an excuse in order to become incredibly drunk. Who's that?
Why
Well,
can't it be both?
I suppose if it's training, there goes the rest of my payday.
That is a very enthusiastic looking Twi'lek.
Yes, this is the
That-
black market arms dealer Lilash conjured up.
He's very enthusiastic about black market deals.
Yeah. Look at these guns, man. I got all kinds of guns.
Just the dancing black arms merchant.
I wonder if you can provide. I wonder if I can buy some programming chips from him.
So how much is it gonna cost for me to get smashed?
Not that I can install them right now.
Yeah. Those of you who want to participate in the drinking ritual, let's just get some strength checks going with this stamina focus if you haven't.
Can I get a drink? Not to drink because I'm a robot, but to be there for.
Just to be included.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. The barman will kind of give you an odd look as you're getting a drink along with everyone else. Ironically, the Force users probably want to fail this check.
I mean, I didn't use Force to augment my stamina, so there's that.
Excellent.
A perfect 15.
All right. So yeah.
Oh my god, how expensive is it going to be to get her drunk?
Probably very.
Ah, god, just give me a number. I'll take it off the list.
So I think
Also,
between
yeah.
all of you for the whole night, with two very high numbers, a middling number and a very low number, like, well, Lesh gets hammered after like 2 drinks. He's just like,
Yeah, I've purchased a couple of like just boxes of death sticks. I'm just like, once I'm already too drunk to drink, I just start smoking instead.
Let's say 20, 25, 26. Let's say 50 credits.
All right, I can live with 50 credits. That sounds like a pretty reasonable number
For the night. But yeah, it takes a pretty long time, like probably well into the evening, before Siren and Stark get like properly drunk. But Cal and Lesh get fucked up pretty quickly, and so Siren is able to begin a lesson.
Guys, you want to know a secret? This half of my face that's missing, it really hurts all the time. It's very painful.
Yeah, I remember you saying to the doctor for the getting the arm, they also wanted to put some stuff on your face, but I was like, no, I'm pretty sure it's bad for him.
I have noticed that you only ever sleep on your right side, never on your left.
Just fucking go away. My dad was a real asshole about it. Decimated my face with the Force. Can't even get skin grafted on it.
This is like all go gross and fall off and shit.
Yep. In fact, it sizzles. Really burns and
sucks.
makes it even worse.
Fair enough. Do you know what? I mean, the Jedi might be stuck up in quite a lot of ways, but I bet they've got a super good healer who might be able to take the bad Force out of your face bits.
Fuck the Jedi. They just try to kill me for being a dark Force user. Hey, can I get another drink? I'm not sure I feel the Force yet.
Siren pushes a big tankard towards you.
Thank you. Cal face first into the tanker.
I stick a straw in it to steal some as well. I'm just like, brum, brum.
Just let the Force guide you, flow through you. Have no inhibitions, no sense of self. Just flow through the aether, through the connection between all. And Siren pauses to knock back half a glass. Connection through all things.
I look like I'm nodding sagely, but I'm doing that thing where you're not sure if what you're going to do is burp or throw up, and I'm just like, you move around with your mouth and your throat, like, all right, just make sure that it's just air that comes up. And I'm just like, It's like, oh, it was a burp, thank goodness.
Yes, can you feel it? That's the Force speaking to you.
It's weird.
It might be.
Normally I just have to use all of my Force concentration to make my face not burn like wildfire. Well, this alcohol's doing pretty good at taking care of that right now. I can barely feel my face.
That's because I ordered the Huttese warp core. I warned Starrick, I still get properly fucked up. You know, the one that had the caterpillar climbing inside you're supposed to eat as well? That was pretty good.
What that was?
Yeah. Yeah, they were real good. I also ordered another one, but I won't describe what animal was in it because you swallowed it like immediately.
At least for now, Cal will try to take a meditative stance in his chair, and I don't know if he passes out or not, or actually meditates. Is it sleeping or meditation? You can barely tell the difference.
Sleepitation. Meditate.
Let's see.
In the meantime, while waiting, I'm just like leaning into Hatred and be like, I'm too drunk to light a cigarette. Could you please?
Oh, it would be my pleasure.
Thank you. And yeah, my idea of meditation would be just like leaning back and watching smoke.
Excellent. And Stark, while the 3 Jedi are drunkenly attempting to meditate, what are you doing?
You know, I have a feeling like this is going to prove humorous, so I'm just going to watch.
Stay sober.
Oh no.
Oh no, he's also habit.
Yeah, drink and watch and try to remember any embarrassing shit that you guys say.
Don't worry, H1's recording the whole thing. Kina got us covered.
You see, while Cal should be trying to sense the Force, Lila should actually, if she wants to learn, should be trying to purge the alcohol from her body.
Nah, I'm too busy watching wispy cloud things and listening to the pretty lady say words.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how cute her and Stark's kids would be.
You can actually learn any of the Force skills first. It's just normally taught with control first.
Really? At least the first edition rules, they say you have to learn them in order of controls.
No, they say that's how it's traditionally taught.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was like how you had to do it.
Nope.
Because I remember reading like if
Gonna
you were
put all of my points in alter. No sense. No control. Alter everything. The universe is my bagel.
I mean, I don't understand how. I guess because I thought the whole thing was if you were a savant and you had like sense or alter, it made it very difficult for you to learn properly.
And it probably does. That's why they teach it in that order. But mechanically, it has no impact.
Okay.
But yeah, so would both Cal and Lilesh please roll 1d6
Sure.
for me?
Okay.
All right. Excellent. So the night passes without any of you three completely obliterating yourselves. Lilesh gets righteously fucked up pretty quick. But despite all of this, you are able to actually get some measure of Force sense going. You're able to, through your drunken haze, extend your senses beyond your body, much as Siren must do to see. You can feel the people around you. You can almost make out the patterns of walls and chairs around you. You can sense the Force on maybe like one person way across the bar who's just like the tiniest little spark of potential in him.
Huh. Real easy
Nice.
to feel things around you when you're not focused on making your face not on fire.
Just because alcohol is also magic. And then I'll look at Siren and be like, you wanna bang Starrick.
I was gonna make an alcohol joke about my eyes not hurting anymore, but that's okay too. You know.
If you two want to go ahead to the dame first, that's cool. I should like walk around and sober up and buy a bunch of crazy droid chips for H1 anyway.
No, Stark's he's a good man. He wouldn't take advantage of a drunk blind girl.
You know, of course he wouldn't take advantage. I'm more worried you would take advantage of him. Ah.
Siren just smiles and starts like pouring another glass for herself and like misses a third of it.
So
I will reach over and I will help her pour her glass. I'll just gently adjust her hand.
I can't sense you. And she like just plants her hand on your face and moves it around. Oh, Lilash, you're very cold now.
That's not me, I'm this one. And then I would just put a probably like actually burning hot fluffy face just on her, like blef.
She like leans her head on top of your head and just
Well,
I've miscalculated.
Now that the lesson at least is done for now. Actually, Cal's actually using force control to burn away the alcohol in his body and trying to sober up some.
You cheater! You got 20.
No, you can't do that. That defeats your face. Gonna hurt. You should try drugs. Drugs work when you can't be drunk.
Now that he's sobering up some, Cal will answer. I usually keep control to block the pain from my face. I just simply didn't want to wake up in the next morning with a rousing hangover to make that even more complicated.
See, that's when you use force controls to purge the hangover, not get rid of the drunk. That's the fun part. That's the worthwhile part.
I can stop hangovers with force.
Besides,
yes, you can stop hangovers with drunk. Absolutely.
Fuck, I mean I meant the force thing. I already know I can fix hangover with drunk.
Besides, it matters not much to me if I can't use my force powers unless I'm inebriated. Now that I have the feeling, I think I'm going to practice sober for a while. And I'll go back to meditating.
That makes sense. Yeah, if I'm allowed to, I have a couple skill points hanging around, and since I have nothing in force sense, am I able to just buy a point with a skill point?
No, it will take you guys, like, just metagame, talking how the mechanics work. It takes a week to learn a new force skill at 1D.
I just mean, like, is a force skill at a, like, you just, like, there's no extra cost, like, since
no,
I've
to
got
get
this
it at
thing
1D,
zero,
you don't have to pay any skill points or anything. You just have to get a teacher.
Fucking dope. Does that mean we get to spend a week shit-faced on this planet?
Yeah, if that's what you want to do, is to just, like, spend a week here with a sad drunk Jedi and learn how to use the Force to
absolutely
walk around blindfolded and shit. Yeah, you can.
All right, how much is a week of bar tabs going to cost me?
Do we have to get drunk every time?
350 if you go through the same rate.
Siren, like, the next day after she's purged the alcohol from herself, will say, "No, we don't have to be drunk every time. Believe me, I tried this with the princess, and she was very upset."
Interesting.
No, you just...
Considering I can't make the hurdy brain stop hurting like the both of you, I would be okay to keep drinking.
I think that's when you're supposed to stop, Lilash.
No, you see, if you drink enough until you know how to magically space magic away that hurt, then it's fine. But then if you stop drinking before you're ready, then the cumulative hangover might kill me.
Besides, you're learning sense. If anything, that would just make you more acute to it.
Just project your senses outside yourself so you can't feel the hangover anymore.
That would still be a part of control.
I know,
Either
but
way.
it will make her feel better.
I like the sound of feel better. Yeah, okay, so how much, by the way, would it cost to get H1 some demos chips?
Let's find out.
Because I can't remember the cost of upgrading a droid. And now that we've got proper money, and I believe it was expensive as fuck, now is probably a good time to do it.
It is expensive.
Learn a
It's
new
one-
skill, 10 skill points and 1,000 credits.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Alright, can we preemptively buy the chip?
Yes.
And then Kina can do the skill points later?
Yes. So for each new skill you want to unlock financially, it will cost 1,000 credits.
Okay, how much does it cost from black market person?
Make
I try a
a
hackle?
bargain check.
Yeah, a geomancy.
Alright, and we will roll
Oh no, I'm
for
going up against you? Fuck.
generic merchant man.
It's a good. Oh, I
Hey,
beat
you did
just barely. God, you also rolled really good. You got
Yeah.
nearly mine on foot with a whole dice less.
Okay, so it'll only be 1,100 per credit to get like illegal ones like grenades and demolitions and blaster. But to get
Okay.
anything like normal, like repair or drive or whatever, you can just get it at base cost.
Sure. Okay, so I've taken away 1,000 like already. So Kina can have a demos chip if you want to add that to your sheet. Is there any other
Sure.
generic skill you want while we've got some money?
Just a second, let me see.
Sure. You
That's
can
the
also, I
wrong
believe,
one.
make ones up if you want to make up some kind of like the housework skill or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you can make up your own skills, absolutely.
I feel like I did that already for something, but I don't remember what it was.
Man, I was going to say fate because you get to make up dumb shit all the time, but you weren't in those.
Oh, I've made a skill awareness because perceiving
Right.
things is just perception, and I can't literally cannot get any more perception. So
Right, you had
I
to
get-
make a skill to have that. That makes
to,
sense.
to be able to increase my perception skill of seeing things.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really smart way around it, thinking about it.
Let's see.
Just invent the looking at things skill since you can't perceive.
I could usually get awareness for maybe something like security or computer repair.
I know that I have security, but I do
Programming.
not have computer/programming. I've got droid programming repair because obviously I had to pick that up for you.
Yeah,
But
having
if you
someone who
want
knows how
computer-
to work with computers would probably be very beneficial.
Let me just double check Stray's other character in case. No, they don't have it. So yeah, I'll drop another 1,000 if you want to grab a computer program repair chip as well.
Sure, I'll just take those off as to learn skills for when I actually have enough skill points to unlock anything.
Sure. And how much did this guy mark up for armor resizing? 550?
Right, yeah, you can... Sorry, what?
550 if they're going by the same percentages?
Yeah, that'll work.
Cool. All right, we're down to 10, 808. Okay, awesome.
Alright, so yeah, Cal and Lil both basically spend a week with this Grey Jedi Siren. After the first day of just getting fucking smashed together, you actually spend the rest of the week spending your like late afternoons to late evenings with Princess Arana. It quickly becomes apparent that she too is force sensitive and probably just hid it most of her life so she didn't get scooped up by the Jedi.
Makes sense. I like pass her notes in class and do other occasional childish stuff once we're like an extra day or two in.
The fact you were able to hide it means that you're very adept in controlling yourself.
The princess will give a little blush at that, and Siren will say, "No, she's always had a guardian to assist with that. Unfortunately,
Ooh, like a shield to block sense?
no, a person to block sense."
Right. Right.
Cal will nod at that. Makes sense.
Unfortunately, that's left her with no training, and at this point her natural abilities have become dangerous to herself and others, so she asked me to be here to teach her, and conveniently you as well.
Cal will none of that.
Alright, so Lil, if you want to give me a perception check just to see how the week goes for you and trying to hit on the princess.
Oh god, alright.
Excellent. Okay, yeah. Well, it's not like, okay, yeah, like day 5 you just...
No, yeah, no.
No, there's none of that. But you can definitely say for sure that you have become the princess's friend as you are
nice.
training together, and perhaps there is room for something more, should you stick around and pursue that. But in the span of a week, she is much too reserved to open up a romance option for you at the moment.
Of course. Instead, since it's likely we can't spend a long time around, what's the pen pals option? Because it would be nice to have like constant contact with her and the goings on in the galaxy.
Yeah, absolutely. She has a like highly secure government, .gov email address, effectively. So, yeah, she
Sure,
will
yeah.
give that to you and take yours, and the two of you can keep in touch.
I'm going to add it to connections right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also one for our erstwhile teacher, Suresh.
Yes. All
Siren,
three of
yeah.
you. All three of you can add Siren to your contacts.
Was that Naira's surname?
Nire.
I must admit, Siren, I am rather curious to see how you fight.
Badly, and she will like tap her like missing eyes.
Are those a new wound or one that you've been getting used to for a while?
It happened near the end of the war. The same time my lightsaber was destroyed.
Wow.
Yes, also you, Stark. She certainly seems to have a liking towards you.
Can we try to manufacture them? I would like to try and play hookup for her with Stark.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely make a roll for that. Stark, you are welcome to assist if you want, or to try and interfere.
Yeah, so long as it doesn't require getting quite that drunk first, sure, I'll assist.
Alright, yeah.
All your
My
best,
highest roll all day is Wing Lady Lilesh.
all your best rolls are involving booty calls.
Oh, thank goodness you really needed it.
Alright, so yeah, I think Stark's game is a little rusty, but Lil certainly makes up for it. Yeah, how far are you, like, trying to push this? Like, all the way to, like, flesh pounding, or are you just trying to get them...
I feel like our mentor, such as it were, has a lot of pent-up, not too much good, and probably is long overdue a round of hardcore smash. And I'm also pretty sure that she's willful enough that if I pushed her, she would probably even be willing to be the one who takes control, quote-unquote, of the situation. And assuming as they do it sober, Stark won't object. At least that's my thinking, or Lilesh's thinking pointedly in this. Yeah, I want to try and arrange a, oh yeah, we've got to hang around later for lessons, but Stark, maybe you could keep her company, and then you're like, smash cut.
Yeah, I mean, if that's alright with you, Mers, I think that's in character for Siren.
You know, I feel like I don't really have any reason to say no.
Okay.
And even if I did, I probably wouldn't be able to with that much matchmaking game.
Yeah. No.
I mean, Stark has the ultimate power in this vis-a-vis the consent, right? Like, you're not going to get molested by Siren. So.
I didn't roll like force powers versus
Yeah,
consent
I was about
or
to
something.
say, and then Sarah rolls Jedi mind trick.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna invest my session's force die into fucking getting Stark to just fucking take a ride down to Poontang Town.
Yes. Siren just waves her hand in front of Stark. This is the
You
rug
want to have
munch.
sex with me? Blind girls are hot. They are.
So yeah, I think like the last night of you guys like doing your training thing, that happens. Like nobody's really drunk, but you make up some excuse for Siren and Stark to be in the same place at the same time, alone, late at night. And yeah, one thing leads to another, and Siren wakes up in the dame at some, ungodly hour of the morning, feeling much less pent up, for sure, and so too, I think, does Stark.
One dick goes into another.
No.
That's not after that kind of deviancy here. That's like the second stage docking.
That's how future Star Wars alien sex goes.
That's how the Hutts do it. You don't want to do it Hutt style.
Oh, no, not Hutties. The old Hutties docking.
Oh my god.
Made it so much better and so much worse all at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it's like, while that happened, I'm like, hey, princess, I've kind of gotten our teacher to just go fucking bang Starrick. Do you have like a room we could all crash in, perhaps? We'll just sleep over. We'll have a sleepover, because there's no way I want to be around when they fucking take it down to Smashdown.
I prefer not to sleep for tonight. I want to go about the town and try to extend my new senses.
That sounds good. I'm sleepy because I still get very drunk during like a good third of our lessons.
Fair enough.
And their rugs here are very comfortable. Comfier than my bed, so I'm gonna go curl up on one of those.
Alright.
Stop promoting the stereotype.
Look, I've slept in dog beds before. Not gonna lie, it was comfier than the mattress I was sleeping on while I was still a student.
It's not a stereotype if it's true.
Yep.
I mean, Tasha's bed is super soft. I can confirm that.
And it's
Have you got
probably
the rectangle or the circle?
She has circles. Oh, there you are.
Fair enough.
You've been so quiet all game. Thank you.
And now she's gonna eat your
Yeah,
meat.
you've drawn attention to her now. It's all over.
Nope, she just flipped her tail back onto her nose and went back to sleep.
Nice.
What a good girl. Anyway, so yeah, I think like by the time the week's end rolls around, like the last day, after Siren and Stark have gotten it on, Siren shows up at the palace with a lightsaber that is functional, that she's taken the time to repair. It's no longer a double-bladed lightsaber, but she has salvaged enough that it is functional. And so she's going to turn to Cal, and on this last day of training say, "You say you wanted to see how I fight."
Cal will nod. If you would do me the honors of a duel.
I have to admit I wouldn't mind seeing how another Sith fights in such a way that I won't get half my face burnt off, as I'm sure are you.
I mean, I only have another half of my face. Prefer not to lose that.
Very well, let's make sure that these sabers don't kill each other.
If it's okay, I will sit and adjudicate with a stun pistol in each hand. Just in case. I don't want either of them to maim each other by mistake. I can have an action readied in someone's defense roll. If it looks like they're going to fail, I'll give them extra dice so they don't get a limb removed.
If you wanna go lore-wise, we should probably just find some practice sticks and use lightsaber dice for them, or some practice sabers, because you can't like set a lightsaber to non-lethal.
You can't set plasma to stun.
you can't set it to stun.
Can't set plasma to stun.
Like no, Siren wants to go like a full hog with the blades. Like this is a brand new lightsaber for her, and
Go on, give it a go, Cal. It's okay. I'm here with stun pistols, and I'm a crack shot.
Cal will only say yes because he's more confident in his martial abilities.
I just want to very quickly, can we establish that you bring Ivy in on this?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, we have our doctor on hand. Maybe would be cool.
yeah, I mean, you know, that's a reasonable request, I think.
Indeed, we went out getting shit-faced. I imagine that we got told off for getting actually fuck-hammered on the first night without her, and she turned up on day 4 and completely blew poor Siren's mind because she's a forceless pure blood who likes to get shit-hammered or do drugs.
Does she though?
Yes.
Alright.
And she definitely...
And it's a straight character,
like-
so that's fair, but...
She definitely talked about liking to drink.
A whole lot. And I believe that the reason that she knew the gets high as a kite and falls asleep guard is because she was the one supplying him drugs. So, I mean... you know, big shrug.
Alright.
All right.
So, I guess, what's your perception, Cal?
Mine is 3.
Alright, so's hers. So let's just do round by round actions.
Huh. Excellent. -4, so I can constantly decide to defend if on their behalf if it looks like they're going to fuck up, which I'm going to devote all my dice to.
Alright, so round 1 is just going to be melee for her, and I assume for you as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna... Is there feinting in this rule set? Probably not.
I don't believe so, no.
Yeah, so it's just gonna have to be a melee attack.
Alright, do you want to do more than one per round, or are you content with just the one strike?
Just the one.
My turn will be to ready.
Need to see
For
what
the
her
obvious.
defenses are like.
Okay.
So
yes, she also will just make the one strike, so let's go ahead and do the roll-off to see which of you gets your swing in and who gets stunned, if at all.
Oh, those ones.
Was that your saber attack roll?
Yeah.
You got to add you first to see which of you actually is attacking first.
No, it
might
happens
need-
at the same time.
Oh, it happens at the same time. Okay.
Did I do that right? I might have not.
No, you didn't. You're using the old roly thing. You need to use the one saving made.
Yeah, I need to take that old one off my
Yeah.
off my thing. Let me do that.
Mine's just called dice roll.
Yeah, I was looking at the check. So,
Alright. So how many dice should you have rolled?
I need to lose the 3 and the 6, unfortunately, but then +2, so I just barely make it over the DC 20.
Okay, so I guess what is the total number at the end?
21.
Okay.
Uh,
So let's see.
no, just flat 20.
Just 20.
Okay.
Duh.
So yeah, she gets her strike in. She's just a little bit faster than you.
And then I suppose I try to parry.
Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, and this is the melee parry skill.
Fortunately, I think my dice have continued to screw me.
They weren't great dice. It's a shame you had to ditch a 6.
Yeah, it's roll 20's kind of had it out for me. And that is a -1, correct? Or no?
Yes,
Oh,
this
yeah,
will be at a -1 because this is your second action.
It's so weird seeing DCL play a character and then their first segment didn't have move in it because there's no point.
I know, right?
There's not 3 moves and then another and a lightsaber attack at the end.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, so yeah, I think there's like a lightning fast exchange of blows. The lightsabers crack hard against each other, and then just as Siren's like spinning in for the what would be a coup de grace, she starts to pull the attack, and then something happens. Cal,
Yeah.
would you kindly make me a roll of the knowledge persuasion? Let's say,
I have 2D.
do you have any skills in knowledge?
No.
Alright, roll your 2D.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. Okay, something happens. You're not sure exactly what it is or what triggers it. You are too distracted by the fury of the melee. But as Siren is bringing her
observing. Am I
lightsaber
able to
down
notice at all?
towards you, there is a great big flash of light in the room. Lilesh, out of curiosity, how hair trigger were you during this duel?
I was prepared if it looked like someone was about to get scorched. Like, I could literally see a lightsaber starting to make its way past his cover. Like, the moment that it looked like Cal was losing that, I was ready to go if it looked like she wasn't going to pull back. That's when I would shoot.
Fortunately, that would have to require you looking at the dice rolls, which have already happened.
I have Perception 4, and my action would be ready, and my ready action would be to shoot whoever looks like they are about to injure the other person. So, no, I'm fine. My perception is quicker than yours, so I get to observe you guys acting first every time.
So, yeah, there's this blinding flash of light. Lilesh, would you make a, let's say a perception check to see if you have the restraint to, like, not pull the trigger as what looks like a massive clash of blades happens that's probably not favoring Cal.
Fuck my dice.
Okay.
17!
Yeah, you're fine. You have that flinch reaction of almost pulling the trigger, but then stop yourself. And this light tears through the room. There's a shudder through the palace. And when the blinding flash passes, both Cal and Siren are lying on their backs on the ground, kind of smoking a little bit. And her lightsaber has exploded. And there's just a little kyber crystal just clunk sits on the ground.
What?
Ooh, fuck.
What exactly was that? Lightsabers are not supposed to explode.
No, they are not. Where? And there's this moment of Siren like sitting up, and then she turns her head one way than the other, and then she's silent for a long moment, like probably long enough for Cal to get up and like dust himself off. And she's gonna sigh and say, "Well, my 4 senses are gone, so that's nice."
Gone.
Pardon me?
So don't simply leave you. What are you talking about?
Extend your senses as well, Cal, like I've trained you.
Cal will make the attempt to do so.
Alright. Yeah, make a sense check here. Oh yeah.
I make a sense with my 1 dice. Oh yeah, baby.
How do you have 2d6 in sense already?
I have a force point of dark.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. Fair enough. Okay, yeah. You both extend your senses out, and you know this should be working, but it doesn't. Like, you can't sense anything in the room right now.
Some manner of interference field.
What if I look at the crystal?
Right? No, this is like the sci-fi equivalent of like null magic.
Oh
There's
right,
nothing.
we've been chaffed.
Yeah, you just got magic chaffed or force chaffed.
Yeah, you aren't the only one, Siren.
Well, that's good. I hate to be the damsel in distress, but could someone help me up?
Cal will walk over and help her up.
And she will
was
shakily
probably me.
get up to her feet and sort of like put a hand on top of your head so she has somewhere to anchor herself to.
Give it a second before you move around, Saren. I'm sorry, but your lightsaber has kind of exploded and the crystal is loose on the floor.
The crystal?
Yeah,
Crystals.
what happened when you put that thing together?
I felt a tremendous surge of power in the new saber, but then it seemed to go dormant. I thought it was just my mind playing tricks on me, but perhaps that crystal is much more powerful than... Ah, there we go. And she'll take a hand off Cal, and yeah, you can both like start sensing the Force again.
God, my ears feel itchy.
My ears feel scorched.
Well, yours always do.
More than
Well,
usual.
one does.
That
Cal.
saber kind of blew up in my face. I
That's
just
true.
admitted that I was about to take a hit before this crystal decided to explode.
Cal, your lightsaber is still intact, yes?
I'll look at mine and go,
Yeah, it seems
yes.
fine. And so Siren will sort of nod and say, well, I chose that crystal because it was a relic of the princesses. Call it sentimental value, but perhaps there really is a reason the Sith were after it. That is a power a kyber crystal should not have.
Like I said, the Sith were known for going so far as to make synthetic crystals just for that little bit of power. There was a kyber crystal that can actually infuse a blade with more power. They do almost anything to get their hands on it.
Unfortunately, the science of kyber crystals is not my speciality. I'm afraid I don't know what to do about this.
Forgive
I
me.
have a suggestion. It might not be one you're appreciating, though. I could take it to the Jedi. But I wouldn't be leaving you empty-handed and grimacing because I'm giving up something that I'm probably never going to get my hands on again. I will place the saber that I got in her hand.
Right, so yeah, she'll take it and wrap her fingers around it for a moment and say,
I know it's smaller than you're used to, but, you know.
I thank you for the gesture, but I hesitate to take it to the Jedi either. They are as power-hungry as the Sith these days, I fear.
Oh, I make no doubt of it, at least when it comes to their upper ranks.
I would rather this not fall into either side's hands. This Cold War is a delicate balance, and new weapons of destruction can tip that so easily.
And that's the
Very
case, and
well.
the answer is simple. We find a way to destroy the crystal.
Or simply lock it up. I think it's a bit of a waste to destroy something so old and powerful, and possibly dangerous. Please, I'm a xenoarchaeologist. Things like this belong in museums.
To let it exist, to let it exist allows temptation to form the galaxy. Someone is going to try to get it, and somebody is going to try to use it. If it's dangerous, it simply needs to be dealt with, and that be the end of it.
So when you start talking about destroying the crystal, you see Siren like tense up. She says, "No, absolutely not. We need to find out what this is and why. Then we can decide what to do about this artifact."
Who would be someone trustworthy we can speak to about kyber crystals? I'm not exactly lore savvy, and none of us know about it.
Scow, why don't you roll xenoarchaeology for me?
I'd fucking love to.
This is going to be
Why don't
a
you just
target number
crit all
15.
Why don't you just crit it?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be nice. Yeah. Okay.
No crit, but good enough.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, there aren't really crits in this
It is one
game.
it is one of my highest skills. I would hope that I could roll it okay.
Indeed. So, Scow,
Mm-hmm.
who's one of the foremost experts on kyber crystals? Scientists, not Jedi. Give me a name.
Technically, kyber crystals weren't his initial specialty, but he is someone who taught me the intricacies of delving ancient Sith temples, which were renowned for their danger. And along the way, he amassed an impressive collection of kyber crystals, and afterwards delved into the sciences of them after a thesis of his was highly recognized by the Republic.
All right.
And his name is Professor... Let's have a look here. Let's see. What's a good name here?
Oh god, where's Andy? Why?
No. Obviously, the professor's name is Henry Jones Sr.
No.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
It can't be Harrison Ford's daddy?
Look, I'll get a Harrison Ford token, but gotta Star Wars the name up a little bit.
No, not actually Harrison Ford. You know the guy who played his dad in...
You mean Sean Connery?
Yeah. Henry Jones Sr.
Yeah.
Penitent man shall pass. Professor... His name is Garbage, and he hates the nickname Professor Garbage. That's too mean. Let's see here.
And yeah, Merce's is pretty good, if incredibly silly. And I love it.
Silly is for someone with Star Wars.
Anadini Sinej. Let's see here. What alien race? What's the green... Mary Ellen.
Excellent. Alright, so yeah. He would be a person to take this to, for sure. Although... let's go over to the galaxy map. Where is he about now? I think he, at this moment, is on the planet of Takodana.
Can you show us the galaxy map as well?
I can indeed.
Thank you.
Boop.
The almost near neighboring planet.
Yeah, it's actually nowhere near you guys, but it's one of the closer, like... There's a shipping route directly to it.
His name is Salatong Starfruit.
No! Okay.
There you go. Yes. There you go. Miriam Professor Anadni Sinej, previous Sith Temple Delver, now a specialist of crystals, gems, and he had the foremost loved thesis on force-attuned minerals. He is in his mature years, but typically still undertakes matters most dangerous, aka a Delver who just can't quit.
Excellent.
Sounds like a person we don't exactly want to trust, but if he's in your good graces, I suppose that's who we go with.
He taught me how to escape the rolling boulder trap.
The rolling boulder trap?
An absolute classic in Sith temples.
I know. My father taught me how to deal with it when I was 3. My point is, are we sure we can trust him with something so potentially dangerous?
I can't think of anyone who was an independent who would know otherwise. It's not like we have to hand him the crystal.
Fair enough. H1, if you could, may I please have a crystal?
I will give it back to you.
And Cal will put it in. I'm going to say he has a pocket deep into one of his robe pockets, next to his breast. If one of the Siths comes looking for this crystal, and they will probably be best it's in my hands.
I don't know. She's holding a saber now, and she was actually about to kick your ass before it happened. I was a moment away from blasting her if you weren't already pulling back.
I should get a smuggling compartment installed.
She was a good fighter. That's all I can say on that matter. She undertalks her skills.
Come on, Cal, leave it with her. It'll be fine. It's not ours to hang on to.
Wait, I thought the whole point was that we were taking the crystal.
We don't have to take it to him. We just go talk to him. It'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I have handed over the saber. There'll be other sabers in the universe. I'm in the galaxy.
No,
I'm sure.
if you're leaving the crystal with her, then Siren will push the Sith saber back into your hands and say, "It would be unbecoming for a apprentice not to have a saber. I can create another one."
Perhaps you should use some more durable materials next time.
Hopefully not with this same crystal.
Or maybe you should make two, one with that crystal so you can blast a Sith user, and then if you have just some guards nearby with guns, they can shoot him when he's useless.
Now that
Any
would be
crystal
something.
I mean, it
Any
would
crystal
work.
Any crystal that runs the risk of exploding in the middle of lightsaber combat is far, far too dangerous.
I
I'd say
mean, it didn't just explode. It totally blinded the Force out. That would actually be an No, that's an amazing trick. Put that in another saber just as an emergency. Some Sith comes by, you smash them together, saber goes pop, God shoots Sith.
Was
Easy.
it just sense, or was it all the Force powers? Cal would know because his face would have been hurting like a motherfucker.
It was just sense.
Yeah, Cal will shake his head and go, "Not quite. I only rob you of sense, which for combat is not the most important power to use. For practicality's sake, it's better just to keep it in the vault till we can come back. And are you sure your friend won't ask to actually see it?"
Even if he does, I'm gonna say no as just a matter of safety. He shouldn't need to. The dude's a professional. And of course, I can simply tell him that the crystal is resting safely in a museum where it belongs, and that'll be enough for him.
Right, so as you're saying this, Siren is like tucking the crystal into a pocket and like scraping up what's left of her lightsaber. And she'll turn to you lot and say, "Well then, I suppose you have your next job then, don't you?"
Indeed. Figuring this out quickly would be for the best. I know the Sith and their propensity for new weapons. They'll be after this soon enough.
I don't know that we can head directly to Takadanya. We have another job that needs resolving on Starek's behalf.
The longer we wait on this, the more we give the Sith a chance to get the crystal.
I understand, but we do still have to do the due diligence and also get paid for the fact that we blew up, a Sith death super weapon / miniature dark hole generator.
I'm sure the crystal will be safe here, at least for a time. And do tell Stark I said goodbye.
Oh, but of course.
And
I'm sure you left with plenty of memories.
Yep.
Alright, we'll do Nazar Shadow first.
Gives a little sigh and just starts walking out of the training room.
We just have to hope they don't Iron Rain the planet by the time we get back.
I can't imagine they'd very easily do that at the least.
That would certainly be a declaration of war.
Good point. They'll just send in some fucking Sith assassins to do a Metal Gear and sneak it out.
Yeah, that's much more likely.
It's fine. It's being guarded by a Force user. And she did prove that she was better with a saber than you, so that's promising.
Look, she's got a 6D, and with the new rolls, it literally just delegates it to 1 dice roll for lightsaber combat, because a lightsaber is going to do enough damage to fucking incapacitate you. And my dice kind of fucking hate me. So technically she won, but only just because my luck is absolute ass.
That sounds to me like
Your
the
luck
work
doesn't exist anymore, DCL. It's
Surely.
been killed.
Surely that's just the force of work, if your luck betrayed you at this important moment.
No, it's always because my luck is always betraying me.
Then the force hates you.
I will want to talk about that later, just because if it, the way the rules are as written for lightsaber pairing, it literally does just come down to 1 lightsaber swing decides lightsaber combat.
Well, no, also you have your defense. It defines the target number as well.
Yeah, but unfortunately, since defense now replaces the target number, when you eventually get to the point where you actually have good lightsaber offense, unless you split equal, which is going to be expensive as fuck. Your defense is never going to be very far behind. I mean, very like up
That's
there.
fine. I mean, I kind of like it because it's lethal as fucking hell.
I don't, because it basically just leaves me to the whims of luck. Completely.
Unless only when you're in lightsaber combat. Otherwise, you're an unstoppable killing machine, and that's amazing. Like that does legitimately feel more appropriate.
I mean, the problem is in non-lightsaber combat, it makes no difference because that would be the same. And then in lightsaber combat, it's literally how do the dice feel today? Because I get two rolls.
No, I mean
to decide
you can't get melee parried in it.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, you can get melee parried in non-lightsaber combat.
If they have a sword that can
play.
parry me, right? They can parry, and that's fine. That's rare, but that would be how that works. It's just like right now I have a 6D in defense, 7D with like the little house rule, and if I only move and take one action and swing, I get a 6D, which is kind of around. Sometimes it will average 20, sometimes it will be less than 20. And I have to make that defense roll before the swing even connects, really. I think that's how that works. I have to choose to defend, yeah.
Yeah.
So with the replacement, and if you ever fight somebody with over 6D, their chances are they're going to hit. And then with force control and then just the base damage, even if I got the Stormtrooper armor, I would probably be incapacitated in single swing.
Sounds like you should start investing into melee parry instead of lightsaber.
Oh man, I'll get right on that with all the non-skill points we have. Fucking 6 dice of defense just to make that 7, and even that will only be decent defense. I'm just saying, if there's 2nd edition Star Wars lightsaber combat rules, I like to look at those.
Let's see. I wonder if I have those still on Dropbox.
Because for right now, it leaves me pretty high and dry with lightsaber combat, and with my luck, I have a feeling I'm going to die in a hit.
I mean, from what Seven said previously, this is 2nd edition rules.
Basically, I don't know if there's anything specific for lightsaber combat, but this is how 2nd edition handles every other kind of combat, so I wouldn't see why not.
I imagine you maybe get more points or easily level up more, just so you
No.
have more.
Unless
Actually, you level up slower in 2nd edition because you use your XP to get bonus dice, like you spend it during play. Which is a kind of Shadowrun thing that I hate, but...
And the only difference I could see being likely is that you can just use your lightsaber skill to parry with lightsaber.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what I'm saying is that the reason why I even care is because if we start going up against people who, like the Sith Lord, who's got like 8 whatever in lightsaber combat, I'm basically going to die in a hit, even worse than what already happened. And I could try to put every point I get into increasing my lightsaber skills, leaving me a one-trick pony, and that would be the only way I could survive, or even have a chance.
Let's wait and see for now. We've still got a game to continue playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll link you the 2nd edition rules if you want to peruse them. But also, sort of the point of this campaign is to be like, hey, it's like 40 fucking years since the 1st edition came out, so we're playing that, yay. So I don't want to necessarily house roll a bunch of stuff if I can get around it, but...
Yeah.
Yeah. In most cases, it works for now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will just have to wait and see. Because really, all we have to go on is our dice roll happened. And honestly, I like the concept of getting hit with a lightsaber as a lethal blow.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it should be. It's just I don't like the fact that it's one... I don't have any real say. It's I get to gamble, or I'm fucked.
Yeah.
And I don't like gambling right now because my luck is bad.
Yeah, like, as it is, lightsaber combat is, like, one single roll-off, and whoever loses is kind of fucked, but... not much that can actually be done about that without a whole lot of bullshittery and a specific system.
Yeah, clearly after this campaign I should just rewrite the entire Star Wars role-playing game. That'll be great.
I mean, the alternative was the old system where basically nobody got hurt unless you were already lightsaber masters.
Fuck that noise.
Yeah, the nobody hits any attack ever. That was fun.
That everyone does a stormtrooper roll.
Yeah, I kind of want the middle ground of.
Yeah, that doesn't exist yet. We'll get there one day, though. Anyway, please, let's please continue.
Yes. So, you guys leave Siren in the practice hall and presumably return to the Dane, gather up H1 and Stark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to do here on Demeter before you take off?
I would like to go and see Siren myself.
Okay, so like once the rest of the group gets back, they tell you like, "Hey, we need to go." And
Or we should be going. I wouldn't go with we need to go. That always sounds too dangerously urgent.
Alright, yeah. You can make your way up to the palace, and you will find Siren in a small, secluded study. She is working at a tool bench on repairing her lightsaber. When you sort of get near the door, you hear her voice say, "Oh, Stark, I didn't think I'd see you again. At least not for a little while."
Badum fucking Tish, blindo.
Dame has to be fueled. The less H1 they can handle that, they can spare me a little while.
Good. And she will stand up and she'll walk over to you and like put her hands on your chest and sort of press in for a moment. I was very scared just before your friends left here. When the crystal detonated, I couldn't see anything. Not with the Force, no senses. I'm sorry, but I'm still a little shaken from that.
That's all right. I'm glad it was just temporary.
She'll make a little noise from your chest, and she'll, after a moment, sort of take a step back and turn her head up towards you and say, "So, you will be returning, I hope, once your business on Nal Hutta is done?"
Nal Hutta?
That is the system where, what's it called? Nar Shaddaa is.
Is it?
Yeah, same system.
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't think it was. I thought...
Nar Shaddaa is technically a moon around Nal Hutta.
Oh, yeah. It didn't say anything about that on the canon article, so I should have probably just clicked through to Legends anyway. At least know what it is.
Yes, its region is the Outer Rim territories, of which Nal Hutta is the home.
Wait, is it Outer Rim or Mid Rim?
Outer Rim territory.
But Legends, I'm confused.
Definitely looking at this astrological information. Sector, Hut Space, Region, Outer Rim.
Click to Legends, Scout.
Hut Space, YouTube, Mid-Rim. Nal Hutta. Weird, okay.
It's almost like canon and Legends are two totally different things now.
Yeah, they are. Regardless, Nal Hutta has always been the, like, Nar Shaddaa's always been a moon, and Nal Hutta's been the centric poison-ass planet.
Yup.
Anyway, where was I?
Yeah. Just totally lost the fucking plot there.
I mean, that is outer, I suppose. Regardless, whatever.
If if Trant doesn't end up giving me something that gets me killed, I'd love to come back and see you again.
She smiles up at you and says, "Now that makes me a very happy woman." And, yeah, her face will sort of turn towards a small cot in her little workshop, and you can feel her press up against you a little more. And...
Not going to raise any objection.
yeah. Fade to black.
Fade to blowjob.
So yeah, I guess towards evening, Stark will return to the Dame as it's been fueled up. The new paint's settled on nicely. It's got a nice like dark blue with gunmetal highlights. It's pretty sexy. And so, the party can indeed launch off and make their way towards Nar Shaddaa. It will be a 24-day journey.
Almost a month.
Yeah.
You know.
I imagine there's probably a few stops along the way. Just sort of avoid Elorian.
Yeah. Oh, with the repairs and the tune-ups and the new coat of paint, it's almost like the ship is just out of dry dock.
You say as like some random paint will just thump.
Almost.
I get that.
So mark down the ship's stores by, I guess, 24 days. And indeed, because there's no random encounters in hyperdrive, the journey will go smoothly for you.
So we've got 1 month and 24 days left.
Okay. And yeah, as the ship passes by Elorian in the blink of an eye, the camera will sort of pan down from the blue lines of hyperspace towards the moon of that particular gas giant, towards a rather large crater where there used to be a Sith research base. Yes, the Sith Lord is currently just like taking a massive deuce and just grumpily looks up like
the camera does that scroll through where it enters into the side of a building and it cinematically rises, but the room it lands in on is not like that evil waiting hall where there's numbers of hooded people talking around holograms, but she's just currently like poot that looks up like, wait, go away.
No, we panned back down to the planet as a group of Sith scientists are gathering up bits and pieces of debris from the ground. They have sensors out and are examining the remains of the facility. And we see not the Sith Lord, but the man who was with her, this lead researcher for the facility who you saw driving away before it had its accident. And he's standing over this crater, arms crossed, staring down into it, and a Sith trooper in full black and red armor steps up behind him and say, "We recovered it, sir." And he'll look to the man, then look behind him to this big armored truck that is just driving up, that seems to be laden down with something very, very important to the Sith, for it not only is the truck armed and armored to the teeth, but it is surrounded by elite soldiers. And he will just give a nod and then look up towards the sky, and a wicked grin spreads across his face, and cut to end credits. Down, 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 down.
Yeah. I do like the very Star Warsy tilt that all of our interactions from planet to planet go. Like, we went through shitstorm to dramatic shitstorm and getting out screaming from the gates of hell to landing on what would generally be seen as the perfect planet where two of our heroes get some training and the other fans love. And then, prepared again, we head off for the Smuggler's Moon. Like, that's very Star Wars.
Yeah.
H1, now Lilash is just gonna be like, haha, you got your ass kicked all day.
Oh no, she's probably just showing us the stuff that we were too fucking drunk to remember.
Oh, those training sessions, fair enough. Yeah.
Alright, let's do some skill points. As the party heads to Nal Hutta, you will also have the opportunity to spend these points, since this is the end of your sort of downtime couple sessions and on towards the next big thing. So, performance. Did the crew succeed on their objectives and overcome most of the challenges they faced? Yeah, quite well.
Ship's looking good. We Jewed really well.
Yeah,
Real
let's
question is
let's give that a
Okay,
5. Did the team work well together and rely on each other to overcome challenges? Yeah,
I
absolutely.
got Stark late as fuck.
Yeah, you did. You worked together to get Stark laid, so
sexually
that's
it's me.
that's a reward there. So everyone gets 6 skill points,
Nice.
and then
Just don't-
individually, would anyone say that their or someone else's skills were critical to overcoming a challenge? I think,
Lilash?
yeah, I think Lil would definitely get one. Does anyone else
Thank you.
think they contributed particularly well?
I barely made like 2 rolls all session. I definitely didn't.
The same. I haven't really done much of anything. Because I've
That's
made
fine.
some comments.
Alright.
That was it.
Were any dice thrown during the getting the ship repaired section of the planet that we might have forgotten?
I
The other
think
place?
I feel like you did that.
Oh. I mean, I admit that the 2 downtime planets are basically where all of my specialties lie. Apart from shooting and dodging, I am okay at those. But, you know, yeah. Otherwise, the streetwise, the gambling, the bargaining, all of that dog shit is... Yeah, alright. This planet's pretty good for me.
Don't worry, I feel like as we're getting to Nar Shaddaa that this will definitely be a planet where the combat characters can shine.
I'm also worried that it will still also include streetwise bargain and gamble.
I mean, yeah, but that just means it's even better.
I am worried this will involve more lightsaber combat.
I mean, probably not against Sith unless you are in a real fucky situation.
Jedi can
they
kill
are-
too.
Yeah, I mean, they aren't meant to try and fight us on Nar Shaddaa. Much more likely that secret agents instead will try and ship us in the guts. But I know an SIS guy down there. It'll be okay.
And yeah.
Alright,
Yeah, alright, cool.
embodiment. Did you play your character according to their personality traits? Did you call on your connections or make new ones and push towards your objectives?
Tell me
Yeah.
the connection.
Yeah, I will give, I think I'll give everyone a point for that.
Excellent. So that's now 8 points gained overall, I believe. Well, for me, 7 for the others.
Yep. And then no one spent an inordinate amount of time being a bitch, so no one loses any skill points. So yeah, and yeah, also what Stark said, I think the 2 of you both have an SIS connection.
Yeah, the problem is, Scow's SIS connection on Nar Shaddaa is the guy in 15 years' time.
Right now, he'd be an SIS member, not a chief. He's still
Yeah.
currently an ex-Jedi Knight, though, so he'd be in that transition phase of being a real thorn in the Empire side. Yeah.
Yeah, and my guy is currently the Nal Hutta chief and will eventually be, in 15 years, be the overall chief. So.
I mean, you say in 15 years, like, you know, the canon won't horribly change and these people all die.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Whatever.
But yeah, these characters can totally coexist. It'd be convenient if they were the same person, but there's no reason they like need to be. So
Yeah. It
That's
seems more
fine.
likely to me, since I believe Arden goes from he operates in the Nar Shaddaa, that he's an, because SAS is like multiple chiefs. I don't think that he's technically a Nar Shaddaa SAS chief, just that he has an office there because he's one of those moving operatives.
Okay.
He's one of those people with like a strike task force 0 type kind of deal going on for him. So, although it's likely they're both in the same place, yours would be the one with actual, like, Nar Shaddaa jurisdiction. But they are both big swinging dicks, so we should be okay.
Okay. So, I guess... Oh yeah, also you can all donate points to H1 because she's a droid, which is my
Yeah,
favorite
since I
thing.
just got a free point, I will give you 2. I had one, some spare. Go for it.
So, can I just check? Did we all get 6 or 7?
Everyone
got
got
7.
7 except Scow, who got 8.
And I'm going to
What?
give 2 to H1. So now I'm at 8 total left over right now. I will look into spending them before the next session, but right now.
Scow, did you have anything you wanted to do with your SIS contact on Nar Shaddaa? Like, I know Sark needs to see his. Did you
I
have...
don't intend to specifically shout him out, but also he is meant to be like a force-sensitive guy, and if Lilesh starts pinging on his radar now, he might have cause to make contact, but otherwise no. No specific reason she herself is expected to talk to him.
Okay.
But that might not always go to plan.
Okay, just wondering.
Real quick, I did do a scan over the 2nd edition rules. It's pretty much exactly as you said. The only thing I can really see that would potentially give me a chance is that there is something called the full reaction, which is just your whole turn to defend or whatever. And that does add the base DC.
Ah, yes, that is a thing in 2nd edition. You can, in fact, spend your entire turn, sans movement, just defending to go back to 1st edition defense.
Yeah, look, and I'm not sure if the DC is flexible because it did like say this weird thing like her DC was 20 or whatever. But yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of the things I really hate about 2nd edition is that rather than using fixed DCs, it uses a range. So like in this edition, shooting at someone at close range is DC 10. In 2nd edition, it's like DC 6 to 10.
1.
It's just, you just pick a number in there. I don't know.
And also there's dice to add to the DC range and shit like that. I don't know how that would apply to lightsaber combat, but there's stuff for like cover and like hitting through blast doors and shit like that.
Yeah,
it's just
not really super relevant to you, I don't think.
Yeah, not really. I don't know.
But ultimately, I mean, if it continues to be a problem, we can just address it ourselves. I mean, hi, I'm a game designer. What's up?
I think it is a
Hi,
problem.
game designer. I'm a game designer.
You know, because like, I mean, like, Cal getting shit fucked by the master. That should have happened either way.
Yeah.
I don't like how immediately it happened, but it should have happened, which is the point. You know, losing to the blind girl, whatever. It's the only thing that bothers me is like she had 6 dice and she still beat me just because of luck. And once that happens, it's just like, oh, well.
I mean, luck's always going to play a factor.
Luck's always going to play a factor, but I feel like when you relegate it to basically 1.5 dice because your defense is never going to be that high, at least in this system, not with the way we get EXP. But yeah, when you basically delegate it to 1 dice roll, it is banked so much on luck. And my only real solution by myself is basically just to pump everything into lightsaber combat and then hope I don't get fucked by my massive dice pool.
Well, I will continue to give thought over this, but I would like to, as unfortunate as it is for you, I would like to actually see like 1 or 2 more lightsaber fights before we like make any more major house rules. Like we went through 6 or 7 fights altogether before we changed how dodge worked.
Yeah, I mean,
so I'd like to see how this actually plays out in proper gameplay, not just like these 2 random edge cases.
Well, I mean, the problem is that
my problem with that is that like that
if DCL's correct, then he'll get fucking killed.
Yeah.
Yes,
That
yes, he would
gathering your
actually
target.
straight up die.
Yeah.
Well,
gathering
the
your
good
target
news is
data
I can
comes out of a
just
dead
lop
player.
off some of his limbs. So
That's, you know what? That's also true.
yeah, if I think if DCL gets fucked by the dice combat rules in the next couple of lightsaber fights, and I end up saying like, okay, yeah, we should change that, then I'll just have DCLs get like a leg cut off or something.
Yeah.
And that'll be great, because that's character development. Let's all get excited for DCL getting dismembered. Woo!
Yay, learning.
Dice
Yeah, I was
roll.
gonna say, like, yeah, my one gripe with the idea if we need more examples is, what if one of those examples kills him?
I mean, the reason why I bring it up is because, you know, average person having a control of 3, lightsaber damage is going to be around 6 dice to 8 dice of damage.
Mhm.
And my strength is only 4. So chances are there's going to be a good chance of me just taking a blow and then getting insta-gypped.
Yeah,
Like-
that is a distinct possibility as you go up against more powerful Force users.
And the reason why I'm mentioning it is because basically if they ever have a higher stat block than me, then my chances of dying is exponential. And if they have a normal stat block, or the same as me, then it's just a matter of who's luckier at the time. And we know how your dice act.
It's
They
true.
do
My
like killing players.
as long as I'm not playing Fate, my dice seem to be pretty brutal. But you know,
Your fate dice are hilariously trash.
yeah. Whether I'm playing or DMing, it's amazing how I cannot roll fucking magic d6s.
My dice have just been trash.
Yeah, your dice are
Trash
just
everything.
ass forever.
Yep.
It started with Mur's Hammer.
It's been like a consecutive couple of months of just ass dice for you.
No, it's only been the month. It's only been like the 1
Has
or
it not
2
been
months.
2 months?
It started at Mur's Hammer, and ever since it's just been comically bad
Yeah,
when it
2
needs
months.
not.
It's been about a month. There's been some overlap from very late February, but most of it
Oh, okay.
is fine.
Fair enough. So yeah, it's only been a shit month, DC. I'll be fine.
Oh, I hope the month ends. I would really like the shit month to end. And then even if I do win, I don't know. You probably like the idea of just relegating it to a dice and then letting that be the deciding factor. I personally don't.
Yeah, I can't deny that as much as it can hurt me from time to time, I don't find myself offended by being killed by the dice. I find being put into a shit situation as a result of dice as interesting, because as invested as I am in a character, sometimes your luck turning sour is just another opportunity for something interesting to happen. So I try not to get salty about it. It's one of the few reasons I can play Blood Bowl 2 and not be the most salty bitch, because that game will savage you relentlessly with dice that will continue to defy what the concept of an average is. And I'll go, fuck, when it happens, and then I'm fine afterwards, and I probably had a fun time anyway.
Here's my philosophy on this. You roll a few bad dice and you're fucked. That's just the name of the game, right? You roll a few consecutive bad dice, you make 1 or 2 bad decisions, and death falls upon you. Which is why you plan so much to not, or why I want planning to not let that happen. But what this basically is basically one dice roll.
One dice that could just be the end of you, and because
Yeah.
a thing happens.
It's basically save or die every lightsaber combat.
Yay!
Well,
Could you hear
I
that?
mean,
That's the
this
sound
is
of
my
Saban getting
fetish.
dangerously erect.
I mean, lightsabers are hyper lethal weapons.
I mean, they
So-
are.
Yeah,
get-
that itself isn't the problem. He's not arguing about the damage, he's arguing about the, to hit stuff.
Because
Yeah.
it's literally, there's nothing I can do but inflate my numbers and then just hope luck does not fuck me. There's no
Which
planning,
I would
there's no
prefer
role-playing.
not to have be like a constant thing. But yet, like I said, I will continue to think upon it. I would like to see 1 or 2 more fights to see if you're actually correct. I have a feeling you are, but I would like to sort of see it play out for a bit. And again, if it turbo fucks you, I will wave my hands like a muppet, and you'll be fine.
Okay.
So, in the meantime, thank you guys for watching and for
Yeah.
playing as always.
And thank you.
Thank you very much for running.
Yeah. Goodbye, stream.